You? Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Kubera. Ba ba. Heute machen wir Kubera. Why is my... Oh my, I muted. There's the 4-star Skelly and Pyro after the festival card. Hey there, Taco. Hey there, Shika. I woke up from a nap just now. I'm dead. Yeah, Enya, I feel the same. I feel the same, Enya. I'm stopping this and starting the other music. Holy moly. Life got me by the nuts. And not like the good kind of nuts. What's up? What's in your head? That's the... Does YouTube side probably has never seen that thing before, yeah. That is the Pyro file. Basically, that's a fan. That is what my viewers look like. And one of the goobers is currently, or like during my streams, sitting on my head. They made themselves comfortable over there. In the future, viewers will even be able to talk through them. I don't know how to do that, but that's something I want to do. Oh. Nom 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 nom. The Asha that is left. What a title. Whoever came up with the title must be a genius. Eigenlob stinkt. Self compliments are stinky. That's what we say in Germany. But yeah, hi there. I hope all of you had a nice last week and had a good start into this Monday. Because for me, I don't know, man. Something about the laptop from my mother had issues. Now I try to see what I can do, but I don't have the tools to open. I'm literally being so stupid. I don't have the tools to open the backside of the laptop of my mom. So we need to probably get the tools from our neighbor. And even if I am capable of opening up the backside of the laptop of my mother, I don't know if I am capable of fixing the issue. Like, I have an idea of what the issue is, because there is one visible thing that I think could be the issue, but I don't know. I also don't know when it happened, because apparently it only started like a few days ago, and she had no idea that something was the issue until I pointed it out to her. I hate technology, man. And they always come to me to ask things like, hey, Pyro, can you help us out? Why is this so loud? Why is this happening? Dude, I have no idea. I'm just a simple bun. I'm simple bun boy. Oh, man, I have no idea about technology. I just want to be freaking... I just need princess treatment. I'm not the one... I'm the one taking care of all the issues. Man, I wish the Umas were real. Oof. Yeah, it's always... you are always the one taking care of the freaking technology. Oh, flip this. I'm seeing more and more Twitter comments again about, so some advice for smaller VTubers, up-and-coming people. You can really grow fast with shorts. If you do them right and clip the right moments for you, I gain about 10 subs per 1,000 views. But it is hard to get those people to come to streams. Keep that in mind before going in. Yeah, and do you know what that means? Those subscribers are useless. Aren't those subscribers useless? Sure. First of all, I have no idea how to make shorts work. I thought that the stuff that I made was not bad, but apparently it's not good enough to even get a bunch of views. Like, let me look at my shorts. What's the highest viewed short? What is the highest viewed short that I have? Shorts. sorted by views. The highest viewed short I have is 3,139 freaking views, which is horrible. 3,139 views is horrible for a short. And it doesn't make any sense to me why it has that not that many views. Being told to make shorts and clips to bring in viewership. Shorts don't or barely bring in viewership. They really don't. They can push your subscriber count, and of course, let's say let's go with the numbers that this VTuber talked about. If from 1,000 views you get 10 subs, which of course isn't correct anyways, because okay, I got 3,000 views on this thing and I got 4 subs from that short, so you can't even say that that is 100% truth or anything, or like always the case. Even if we go with 1,000 views on a short is 10 new subscribers on a YouTube channel. What about it? Then they people watch your shorts, or maybe they only watched one short, subscribe, but never watch any of your other shorts, and they don't watch any of your long form videos, or they don't even watch any of your streams, and they just have that subscribers. Aww. And even if from the 10 people that come, there's one person supporting you, then okay, then you need to upload. That would be insane if you upload 100 shorts, and from those 100 shorts you get 1,000 new subscribers and apparently 100 new viewers. If we go with one person for every 10 that's watching the short actually goes to your long form thing. That's not true. It's more like from every 1,000, like every 10,000, or like every unimaginable number that watches shorts, one goes to your streams. And then there's also the problem of there's a specific kind of people that watch shorts. We all know that. I just want to point over to my girl, my queen, my one and only Enya Ignis. There's a reason she's not doing shorts. She ran away from that. She ran away from shorts. Because shorts can lead to extremely horrible experiences depending on the people that you gain into your chat. What did Asu post? The tools you need to open laptop is muscles? I mean, I could tear it open, Stepan. No, Thibaut, it was right. I very rarely check the main channel of a shorts I've seen on YouTube. That's very true, Stepan. Thibaut, I could tear it open. The main issue is, of course, that the backside of the laptop is, you know, there are screws. And I have like a tiny screwdriver thingy that fits into the size of screw that is in the laptop, but I could only remove 3 of the screws. Because I am too... so stupid. I am too weak, or the other screws are too tightly in there to pull the screws out. And even there are 2 screws which I basically had loose, but for some reason they were still not getting out of the thing. So I didn't want to tear it open. And then again, even if I got open the backside, I'm not sure if I could reach the point where I want to go to, where my theory is of the problem. Or if we should just go to the closest like electronics store and be like, hey, so this thing is being extremely loud. Like, we start it up and almost instantly it's just screaming out. Like, it's super hot, but it's not even that hot. It just got screaming and tearing and bam and brrrr. I use a crane to open my laptop. You know what's funny? I also use a crane, but that's to get your mom out of the bed. Are you sure you're not twisting the screws the wrong way? I am sure! I am sure! I am sure! I just don't even get them to move! I got 3 of them out, so you know, I got 3 of them out, so I know what direction I need to twist the screws in. I got 3 of the screws out, and I'm imagining that all the screws go in the same direction. Ugh. Ay. Mi camino. If the laptop was very loud, can it be because it wasn't clean and it's full of dust? So, how do I describe it? Do I have a picture of it? Maybe I can find the model. It's a Dell computer. Dell laptop. It's probably pretty much one of these thingies. Is it just this? Can chat get any worse than Kubera readers though? You guys are good. You guys are good beans. You don't see it on this. It's not really visible in these. It's Alienware. Like, it's pretty much... Hello Ruby, hi there, welcome to stream. I hope a nice start into your week and you are getting ready for Kubera. I'm just talking about technical issues at the moment. Dell laptop. Okay. It's not a 2-in-1 laptop. What do you mean, Thibaut? Us Kubera readers, I thought we had class. I thought we were good. So I really don't have any example pictures. I would need to take a picture with my phone. You know what? I'm making an example picture with my phone. Give me a second. I'm walking over there now. I'm walking over there. I'm getting a picture. Be right back. I am back. I could not get an example picture because apparently the laptop is not there where I left it. Well, anyways. I just don't find any example images I can show. Because it's like... It's not like visible in the basic pictures you get from example things. Just this? No. Holy sheesh, I'm not finding anything. Dell... When was it? It was not Dell Pro 16. These guys are too new, I think, and also too expensive. Dell 16. That it? No, it looks different. I have no idea. I'm confused now. I just want to wee my woo, man. I just want to wee my woo. Why can I not wee my woo in peace? Oh god. My ears itchy. Oh my god. I don't know how you humans do it. Like, when your tiny ears are itchy, you can just scratch it. But dude, when my ears get itchy, it's so troublesome to deal with it. Like, oh, I need to reach the very top of the ear that's itchy. Oh, I need to get in the little folds in between. Oh, I need to get in there. Dude, and don't even get me started about earwax. These stupid human earwax removal tools, they don't work on my ears. I hate it. What is this economy? Sometimes it feels like animal kin are second-class citizen. I think people should care more about the bunnies and the squirrels and the cats and the dogs and the what other animals are common? What other animals have I seen most often? I sometimes see mouses or rats. I don't really like rats. Like, ratkin are at least somewhat nice, but the actual animal rat, I despise that. What other animals do I often meet, like, out in the wild? I met bears before, like bearkin. There's also, of course, there's cats, bears. There's some birdkin, but they always like they want to. No, I'm not a pigeon bird. I'm actually a phoenix. And I'm like, dude, phoenix are mythical beings. I don't think you're a phoenix. I think you're kind of crazy, bro. How would you be a phoenix? Phoenix are not real. What do you mean you're a phoenix? You're probably like a red sparrow or something and dyed your hair a little bit golden for the aesthetic, but I don't think you're a phoenix. Are your hands 30 centimeter long? How can you not reach your ears? I've seen other bunnies scratch their ears with their hind legs. Okay. I am flexible, but I could reach my ears or like put my leg behind my head when I was a kid, but I can't do that anymore. I got less flexible, but I can at least touch the ground with my hands when I stretch forward. A fire bunny squirrel denying the existence of a phoenix. Dude, what is wrong with me? Okay, come on. We live in a realistic world, and phoenix are just mythological beings that were only made up in history for like some cool stuff, like by Korean people or. The Korean people had their version of the phoenix, the Greek people had their version of the phoenix. It's not even the same thing, but it's kind of the same thing. And a bunny exists. Squirrels exists. And the fire aspects, come on. A little bit of magic exists in the world. Like, it's only the basic magic. It's not like I can create huge fires or anything, but I can create a few tiny sparks. Like, of course, there's some magic in the world, but phoenixes? Mythological beings? What's next? You're gonna tell me that things like freaking... The chimeras are real? No, wait, I'm a chimera, kind of. Depending on your definition. Phoenix equals fire bear. Fire exists. Bird exists. Grrr, don't use my logic against me. But there's a difference as well, because phoenixes also always claim that when they die, they get reborn. And I don't know if that's real. I haven't died before. I don't know about rebirth. Or rather, wouldn't I have died like millions of times if rebirth was real? Do phoenixes remember when they die and get reborn? When a phoenix gets reborn, do they get reborn as a phoenix again? I haven't died before. That can be rearranged. That can be arranged. Taco, saying I can help you keep flexible. I would like you to help me remove my... You know what? I should start streaming on that other platform. I wonder how that would be. Let me open up that other platform. I should... Look, I haven't been on the other platform in a bit. You just need to change your name to Kubera. That's a lot of boobs and ass. Is she going to moan if I click on this? Well, that was loot. I stream them there? Profile. I guess I would need to set up subscription tiers and everything. How do you go live on this? How do you go live there? Creator dashboard. How do you go live on that platform? Referrals. Subscriptions profile. How to go live on this website? Navigate to creator dashboard into streaming. Generate a unique stream key. Okay, but I was on the creator dashboard. Where is it again? I lost it. There it is. And then I need to do text documentation, top supporter, earnings, profile statistics, messages, vaults, lists, uploads, management, streaming, generate stream key. Ah, there. And now, then I would technically need to copy that stream key into my OBS like always, and just go live. Well, I would need to try that out in the future. But I don't know if I should do that. There would be a bonus stream besides my daily Twitch stream, but I don't even know. He's learning. I watched your stream at work. I don't know if I could get away with watching that at work. Wait, where are you taking us? The random Muslim noises. So basically, I just got interrupted because my mother came in with the laptop because the neighbor got it open. And basically, looking inside, we couldn't make out any issue. And of course, the freaking fan thing is a bit dusty, as you would expect, as it has never been cleaned in like 3 to 4 years or something. But now that the backside of the laptop, like not the top backside, like the bottom backside, we removed that and had it on for a bit, and now it's not blurring super loudly, like it's getting like something. So first of all, I'm wondering if we should just keep the backside open now for a moment to test things out, if the backside might be the problem. And then there's also the other question, like the thing that I looked at, it doesn't necessarily seem to press on anything. I don't know. And Taco, wait, Shika, can you not follow the conversation, the secondary conversation that Taco and I are having? Are you not notice? Are you not in the know? Do you not know? Do you not know? Do you not know? Oh my god, I think he doesn't know. Oh, isn't that cute, chat? He doesn't know. From context, I think I know. And to be honest, also on that, Taco, I think it would just be a normal stream. Like, don't don't think that I would actually do something on this. I don't think I could do that. I'm already embarrassed from the easiest things during regular streams. Doing things on stream would leave me completely messed up. I don't know. Like that requires a certain sense of exhibition, liking to do it in front of other people. Exhibitionism. Isn't Germany a country of nudism though? I mean, I have heard that oftentimes as well, Thibaut, but I have actually not, like, okay, there was a part where we often went on vacation on, and basically it was like, oh, here is the normal beach, and if you go in that direction for about 1 kilometer, you will reach a nudist beach. So don't go over there. But it like, I've never been to any places like that, and I have never randomly seen any naked people around. So I don't know. I have an idea for a stream. Oh no, that scares me. That scares me. Ah, my eyes itchy. Also, chatters, the Kubera knowers, we're going to finish. If you check the chapter amounts I put it on, we're going to finish season 2, and I also decided that we would read the prologue for season 3 today, so that we read the prologue today, and then next week we get into the actual season 3, which leaves me to question you guys, because I kind of want to try not to go into the section of, like, with the entire chapter overview. I would ask of you guys, the reader. Today we are reading towards chapter, I think, 286. So if you guys can tell me next week from 287, how far should I go? I have a limit of 10 chapters, because I think that's a good amount of chapters maximum per week. But what do you guys think would be a good stopping point from 287. For season 3 next week. That's smart, emo. Okay, what's Taco missing? Anyway, yeah, we could do something in another time. I can't forget every time I go into my DMs with Taco right now, I'm just seeing nude women. First arc is 5 chapters, and second arc is 8 chapters based off the wiki. Which would basically mean I could read the first arc. There's no important cutting point if I recall correctly, so just read as much as you want. So I could also just read the first arc's 5 chapters, and then the week after it, the next arc's 8 chapters. Always considering that if I read 5 chapters a week, that's still like we only get 1 new chapter, so that means I catch up by 4 chapters. I think if we go by 5, that would mean it's 287, 288, 289, 290, 291. It would be to 291. I need to write that down in my notes. Kubera next week, 287 to 291. Kubera übernächste Woche, 292. You said it's 8 chapters long, so it's 292 and 293, 294, 295, 296, 297, 298, 299. One more. 300. 292, 293, 294, 295, 296, 7, 8, 9, 299, yes. You also read 6 and 7 episodes. Meme aside, I'm not joking, Lama. You could also read 6 and 7 episodes. Mostly older people are in the nudist colonies. How do you know that, Maro? How do you know that? Are you older people, or are you one of the younger in the nudist colony? It was the first and second arc are kind of one big arc. To be honest, I think I'll just stay with the 5-8. Then we have a shorter start into season 3, which means that we can also just have a bit of a yap to just talk a bit about the beginning of season 3 and maybe expectations. And then the next one we get deeper into season 3. Okay. You can also read 5, see how you feel, and decide whether to read more. More yapping time for start of season 3 could be nice. Yeah. Also, hello there, Cody. K-O-R-I-4 R2. Wait, are you some kind of R2D2? Ko-Re 432 4 R2. Beep. Wow! That's not how R2D2 sounds. R2D2 scream. I can't make this. I'm never good. Never ask me that again. I should get sound redeems. Shika mentioned that before and it sounds good. I think from comments in a documentary there was a nudism wave, but I think it's a while ago. So it exists, but not as much as when that was big. So yeah, FKK areas exist. Yeah, they're kind of like a remnant, I would assume. And it's also funny that Germany still has that freaking image of like being very nudist, despite like I don't think that holds true for current generation. I feel like there was a thing in the past, maybe for a so short amount of time after war, but then it also died out quick. It was a fad. It was a fad. It was indeed a fad. To be honest, there's less nudism in all countries in younger generations, it seems. It's just because young people don't get any bitches. Those saunas are still great. Oh yeah. When I was in Japan in the sauna, I saw so many penis. It was never mixed. Like, not in a single place I went to in Japan that had mixed bathing. It was always like split. It was always split. Man, can't believe it. I would argue that I have probably seen, I have 100% seen over 3 digits of penis. 100%. 100%. I would bet money on that. I've only ever touched one, but I've seen many. Anyways, Kubera! Here we go. Go in here. Go in here, go in here, go in here. Here's mixed, but you probably are facing issues if you are creep. The nice thing about nudist beaches I went to when I was a kid was there was a lot less people. Yeah, because of course that not many people would go there, right? That's stuff like I've never heard before. I mean, it just holds true, right? Because if you like in Japan with the onsen and public baths, you just go in there and there's like most of the time at least 5 or even like at high times like over 10 different people in there, and you just when they walk past or you walk past or something, like some cover up the private parts, some don't cover up, and like sometimes it's just in your line of sight and you just see things. But I also was part of a football team in the past, so we also showered after matches, and it's just casual, like who cares? Like when I was younger and we were still like in youth football teams, there were some of the annoying kids that always were like, I want to see your penis, I'm going to shower with my underwear on. And I was like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. You're showering with your underwear on? Are you saying me you're not cleaning your butt? You're not cleaning your wiener? That's disgusting, man. Just, what are you scared of? Are you actually that tiny? Are you team tiny? I'm not mocking you, but dude, I feel like you're insecure. And yeah, so from all of my life experiences, I probably have seen a lot of them. Yeah, in areas like sauna areas, yeah, it's who cares. Also, most people aren't attractive naked, but it's more of a sauna area thing as well. Sauna, you're like sweaty and just dying or like enjoying and stuff, so you don't think about it too much. So it's whatever. It's whatever. If any like, I think there needs to be a certain mood, right? I so I would assume, just statistically speaking, from all the random people I've been in saunas together with, at least one of them must have been gay, right? And of course, it's also a thing to say like gay people are attracted to penis, but like you would like, okay, maybe some of them were gay, maybe some of them even looked around and were like, oh, this person looks attractive to me, but you never like, I don't ever. Never anyone ever got like horny, erect, or whatever. Which is like, yeah, I feel like in a public situation like that, it's your body also like thinking logically and knowing how to react. Yeah, it was you, Pyro. Huh? Huh? Too busy sweating. Next time I'm going in there, I'm going to like next time in Japan, I'm going into a sauna, and if there's like many people, I'm gonna be quiet. But if there's one guy, I'm just going to ask, "Hey, can I hold it?" すみません、チンチンの、食べますか? That was the wrong word. That was not hold. That was can I eat? That was sorry. Can I eat your penis? Deportation speedrun 80%. Let's go. Okay, for real. Saunas are treated as sacred places, kind of with don't be a creep. Yeah, I think it's really just a respect other people. Like don't be a weirdo. It's always don't be a weirdo. すみません。チンチン。oh, チンチン。Oh man, I forgot that I need to adjust this. What a moment to walk back into a room. Weirdo is better. It's too big. It was never meant to be this massive. Okay, this is fine. It's bigger than it was before, but I can handle it that big. Oh man, I need to drink something. So before we start, I actually need to get something to drink. I don't have any water up here, and I 100% need something to drink when I'm reading. I'm gonna need to run into my water storage. I'm out of water. I'm putting you guys on my be right back screen or something. Be right back, you wieners. Passport on the ground. Did you guys try to deport me? What's wrong with you? Even though I offered to gobble up your gobble mobble. Don't make it weird. Yep, that's basically the standard rule. Asha time. I set up more acrylic standees today as well. So my desk now has 2 more acrylic standees on it. I'm still basically unpacking all of the things that I have from my Japan trip. So my room is still getting changed over and over. Asha means hope in Hindu, if I recall correctly, I think. Yeah, I think Louis said something like that when he was here for Kubera. He might even be here right now. Sometimes he's like a shadow. He's like a ninja. Okay. Spin in a circle and say his name 3 times and he might appear. Spin in a circle. I'm sitting here on my chair. Wait. I can do this. Give me a second. I'm making myself smaller. I'm putting on my battle leggings. I'm opening up my tummy window. I'm taking my leggings off for good measures. I love Currygum's humor. Then we're going to touch myself. I'm going to touch myself real quick. Here, I'm pulling myself up. And then spin yourself in a circle and say his name 3 times and he might appear. Louis. 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 Damn, I'm leaning. Oh. You know what? I could do a full body stream today. Sure, let's do a full body stream today. Let me stand here. Let me stand here. I'm making myself a tiny bit bigger. Tiny bit smaller. Here. Yeah, well, let's do a full body stream today. Holy, my hips are great. Anyways, I'm going to smack whoever is over there with my butt. But I think I need to wear my leggings. Just to stay safe. Okay, let's get to reading. Those are some birthing hips. I'm a man! My mother had a close half-blood friend. Years before the Great Upheaval, her husband became a priest on planet Willarf and ended up leaving Carta. Whose mother? So she went back on Earth between back and forth between Willarf, where her husband was, and Carta, where her friend lived. Then, when the Great Upheaval occurred, being a half-blood, she ended up getting killed while trying to use emotional resonance. It sounds wrong trying to use emotional resonance. It's not like that's something that they're trying to use, it's just something that happens, right? All of her assets left on Carta went to her daughter, Mirha. But Mirha was still young, so my mother looked after her assets for her and raised her as her and I as sisters. Yeah, it's not trying to use. What do you want to play today? Hide and seek. Then no one won't be able to find Asha. Let's play hopscotch. Hopscotch. So okay, it is talking about Asha. So Mirha was raised together with Asha. It's King's Woes usually. Emotional resonance is the thing that I have seen more often than I don't know if I have seen King's Woes before. He was using it pretty well. No trying was involved. Hopscotch, hopscotch. Mirha was the type of kid who got along well with those unremarkable children. It felt like an unbearable waste of time, but for a time I smiled along with them. Sure, let's play hopscotch. I thought that I just needed to put up until I entered the academy. Eos Magic Academy is an academy where all academies and activities are provided for free. We made him appear. I'm taking my pants off for Lewis. Hi there! I hope you enjoyed your barbecue! Wait, I need to take Enya out. But Enya covers up the stomach. Okay, that's... I need to put my pants on. I don't know. I was cold. Once I entered, there would be no subpar kids around. And no more to do as Mirha pleases. And more no need to do as Mirha pleases. Good moment, but the ritual worked. Yeah, we summoned the bun boy. The bun boy. The puppet. Asha won. Luis, did Asha mean hope, or what was Asha's meaning again? You told me that before. The waterway structure problem was supposed to prevent anyone from getting a perfect score, but you even got that one right. You've got remarkable intelligence at this level. At this level you could make a name for yourself as a truly great scholar. What? Go to a regular academy. No matter how high your IQ is, the Magic Academy can accept you. The Divine Affinity is only 136. But the person who passed before me had a Divine Affinity of 120! The month, date, and hour of her birth were all light attributes. The weighted values of her abilities increases dramatically when she uses light magics, so it doesn't matter if her Divine Affinity is 120. But Asha, the attributes for your birth, month, date, and hour are all different. In cases like this, your Divine Affinity needs to be over 300 in order to enter the Academy. Don't be too discouraged. You have lots of other talents. Even if you're not a magician, there are lots of jobs in the world that you could have. Of course there are lots of jobs that I could have. I'm great after all. Working under magicians, the most elite class. 1830? Wow! Amazing, Mirha. You have triple wind attributes, and even your Divine Affinity is 1830. Isn't Drusilla around 1500? The Wind Priest on planet Carton. So Drusilla is not alive anymore, I assume. Then that means that you're even better than the priest, Mirha. Not really, guys. I still have a lot to learn. It's Asha. Asha, what were the results? I failed. My Divine Affinity is 136. You're trying to think of something to say? Don't bother. It will only make me angrier if you try to comfort me. This is a boarding school, right? Our career paths are going to diverge completely from here, so we'll hardly get to see each other now. I hope you study hard and become a great magician. Tiny Mirha, standing Mirha. The superior Shoras disappeared during the Great Upheaval, but the power of magic didn't vanish. This world still gave special treatment to stronger people rather than smart ones, and it would naturally be left behind in competition with them. Not even because I had done anything wrong, simply because I was born of terrible Divine Affinity. Guys. So, one question more. Small Mirha, indeed small Mirha. We talked about the birth attributes before, and I think it was also shown in the webtoon before. How are, like, what was the numbers again? For me to, because I think I told you before what my stuff would be, depending on, like, my own numbers. But I forgot. So, how did it work again? I don't know my birth hour by heart, so I can't even say it, like, right now. I could probably only give you birth attributes defined by hour, date, and month of birth. Indeed. But like, I'm born on March 8th. What does it mean? I can't tell you the hour, because who knows the hour, like, by heart. But, like, there are even translators of birth dates to Kubera words translators. Yeah. We talked about that, and I was like, okay, so my attributes would be this or this if I was a human. That also brought up the question that I had in the past. Do Shoras also have birth attributes? Because they were talking like that Sampati is capable of using multiple attributes, and it's not like every Shora is capable of using the same attributes. Like every Garuda is able to use the darkness to be able to use cloaking and the thunder or fire or whatever. So like birth attributes for Shuras? Your calendar is different, so fans made a few calendars to calculate what it could be, what it would be. So basically, it also is just like fan interpretation. Because they have 13 months, right? So it would always be a tiny bit hard to determine. The months of 36 days. Wait, 36 days in 13 months? Yes, but that's defined by attributes plus tribe attribute. Correct me. It's the name of the first king of... Why do I have to be here getting executed with these kids who are below me? If this is how it's going to be, it would be better not to have any divine affinity at all. Rather than being given such a pathetically low amount, it would be better not to have any of this ability at all. Damn, did Asha have a superiority complex from the very beginning? Why did she feel so superior to the people already at this point? 12 months, 36 days per month, and 12 hours, basically 2 hours each. 12 attributes, 12 months, 36 days per month, 12 hours per day. Wait, 12 hours per day? Asha has indeed been very humble. Since the superior shores are gone anyway, even without magic, as long as you're willing to put up with a bit of inconvenience, humans can survive somehow. But why would God leave magic in the world and disappoint me? Why? Seriously, what for? 1 hour in Kubera is like 2 hours IRL. Sure, attributes probably come most likely from Paris and Clan. And then there's also probably like mutation cases and stuff. Like this is standard for most places. I don't think any of these names are relevant. Top scorers from October academic evaluation. You just see that Asha is far above anyone else. Chaser Lade, like Chase the Ladder, Matter Halo, Mi Ling Fei, Shitan Hong, Ling Lin Fei, Minos Taihan, Lucia Bell. If I'm supposed to know any of those names, then I apologize. I don't recognize anyone here. Asha got perfect again! It's always Asha who gets a full scholarship. At her level, she would even be the top student at the EOS Magic Academy. I've heard there are a lot of cases of people having a higher divine affinity if they're smart, so why is Asha here? Apparently there are surprisingly large numbers of exceptions. Too bad. She's so smart, but the divine affinity is so low. You can see some random names repeating, but I don't think these are relevant. What do you mean too bad? At least she's way better off than us. True. She memorizes stuff at a glance that we spend all day memorizing. She's probably never even had to study for exams. I wonder if she even knows what trying means. She's so smart she doesn't even understand kids like us at all. She treated me like a complete idiot before when I asked her about a problem before. Me too! She asked me if I even used my brain and totally humiliated me. Something that I realized for the first time at school is that without a mediator, like Mirha around, I'm simply incapable of getting along with those kids who are beneath me. The positive image that people had of me as the top student didn't last very long, and once the rumors started piling up, it was only a matter of time before I became that mean kid. Of course they weren't entirely wrong. It's true that my learning speed was far superior to theirs, it's also true that I couldn't understand their level, and it's also true that I got irritated with childish questions. But my effort to learn doesn't end simply with the shallow knowledge found in textbooks. When they spent their time playing or chatting, I looked through every corner of the library in order to learn everything that I possibly could. But how could they understand how hard I worked even if I explained it to them? They would probably just say that they would shut themselves away in the library like me if they were smart too, let alone understanding me. Considering how they don't even go to the library now when they have spare time, how much different would it be even if they were smart? There's no need for me to waste my time defending myself to those arrogant losers. You really went while they played. I studied the blade. Blades. I just noticed that it sounds surprisingly similar. Since I will skip a grade, I'm going to graduate and go into the world way more quickly than you all anyway. I may not become a magician, but at least I will become a scholar and have a way better life than all of you. How's school life? If you mean studying, I've been doing the same as usual, so don't worry. I'm already in the graduating class. I don't mean studying, I'm asking you whether you're enjoying life at school. Is that important? This place is just part of a process to going into the world anyway. A step towards a brighter, better future. No more, no less. Your dad used to say that all the time too. This is so that we can have a better life. It's for our future. He ended up passing away before even reaching the age of 30, after living so intensely while only ever looking to the future like that, without even a moment to experience the happiness that life gives. He was just unlucky. He would still be alive if it weren't for the great upheaval. I can't live without thinking of the future just because of the chance of dying young. But Asha, life becomes so sad if you only ever sacrifice the present for the sake of the future. Don't just focus on the future so much. Don't just focus on the future so much. Why don't you try looking back on the present a bit more? What did my teacher tell you? Did she say that I'm not on good terms with the other students? Okay, I feel a bit bad about her, even though she is mean. Like, yes, I understand that she has her issues. I understand that she had like unlucky moments in life and everything, but there's still. Do you know who she is? She's young Sheldon. She's young Sheldon. Asha's line about dying young. Ouch. Yeah, it turned out to be true, right? I just wish you would smile a bit more like other kids your age. You don't absolutely need to just focus on studying like that. You don't need to work so hard to get ahead of other people. If that's what you're going to tell me, then you can just go. Graduation is coming up soon anyway. You can tell me that kind of unimportant thing after I graduate. N5, June 30th. Last day that I saw my mother alive. That was basically when Carter was being destroyed by Gandhava, right? Understandable how jaded she is and so close to get her dream. And then, it is hard. Like, imagine, I don't know what age she was when you get into like these academies, right? Was it like at 10? I don't know. But imagine your entire life you're preparing to be a magician. You can even use a bit of magic because you have some divine affinity and stuff. But then, oh yeah, because your birth attributes, that's something she couldn't know already. But it's like the divine affinity thing she maybe didn't know or didn't get measured. And it's like suddenly your entire life, everything you have planned is just being snapped out of your vision because it's being said, well, you weren't born at the right time. Well, you actually weren't blessed enough by the gods, so now you are not capable of doing the highest paying job and you were always part of the second citizen class. And she's a great magician, so it's not unjustified. Even with her. So I wonder. Okay, this brings up an interesting question. Do we know the divine affinity of the other AAs? Like, not Saha, because Saha is also blessed by a god and stuff, I guess. But like, rather like the ordinary AAs. Is there something like an ordinary AA? I don't know, because Layla can summon a god. Saha was blessed by a god. Ran somehow also is extremely special. And you must think that Mirha is born into a priest family too. Ouch. Yeah, it's like Mirha, the one who's having fun, who's building relationships with other children, but she's blessed with triple attributes. She's blessed with divine affinity that is higher than even the card priest for wind. So just having to hear all of that must be difficult. All the younger Ashas are not the same age. Can you see the age difference between Asha in the beginning of the episode and the Asha at the end? It means that a lot of time has passed. Mirha was once taller than Asha when Asha was very young. Since Asha doesn't quite resemble her mother, she probably takes after her father. Hero's Magic Academy was first mentioned in episode 2-137. We learned in this episode that Asha was originally right-handed since she wrote her test using her right hand. I did not notice that. Her right arm is now either missing or useless. Since Asha's mother here is a different color from her eyes and she looks very young, it's likely that she's a quarter blood. What is this question? Somebody's answering to the Kubera information person. I'm pretty convinced that you're a bot. I don't understand some people. Next chapter. Most of the other planets suffered the most damage during the year of the Great Upheaval. But the disaster on planet Carter didn't end with the Great Upheaval. It started with the Carter waterways. Water started pouring out of all of the entrances to the waterways across the planet. With water pouring out non-stop at tremendous speeds, the map of the planet changed. Over 20 million people were caught in the floods and either died or went missing. Over 400,000 people were incinerated by the red sky while trying to reach higher ground to avoid the water. As soon as the water stopped flowing from the waterways and things calmed down, weather anomalies began taking place. There were heavy snowfalls in areas which never got snow all year round. Leaves fell from trees which should have been covered in flowers, and farmlands were washed away by unpredictable storms. But since the gods had disappeared from the world, Carta, the civilization on it was less developed than other planets. And no way of transmitting the news quickly. Even Hotivayu, the only means of transmission, was blocked by the sea that had become several times more vast. In N5, Asha was about 10. Okay, so she was like... So it basically was like similar that she probably got into school like 6, at age 6. Similar to how it's in our world. I would just wonder if with her divine affinity of 129 and her incredible intellect, what could she have achieved? She probably would not have been able to become an AA, right? But she... Would she have been able to become an A+? Or would she be like just a strong B rank? Or... And most of the residents on the planet, myself included, were completely unaware of the severity of the situation. You know where she is? I heard that she moved. Pardon? Yes, thank you. Isn't that Asha? She must have come when she heard the news. Maybe a bit unfriendly, but always took good care of her mom. But she hasn't been home since she entered school. True, Lilith wouldn't have left home like that if she had visited a bit more. Poor Lilith, meeting the wrong guy. Mom! Mom! Mom, why are you lying there like that? Mom, open your eyes. Asha, hold on. You shouldn't just touch her like that. Let go of me. She's my mom. Why can't I touch her? Sorry, we did it on purpose because we were afraid that you would be too shocked. This wouldn't have happened if you had visited home more. I was going to meet you when... Shh, don't talk about that! Oh, hey, Asha, recently the sky got red behind the mountains, and then there was a big explosion. I think your mom got caught in the explosion while passing by at the time. Unfortunately, not even a trace was left of the other parts. Get out! So is it just her head? What is really left of her? Run is an AA, so intelligence must not be a requirement for AAs. But Run also... Does Run have triple attributes? Does Run Run is also blessed with an extremely high divine affinity, I think? Yep, they only found the head. Because the main reason why Asha couldn't become an AA was because she didn't have triple attributes, right? Because she couldn't do the barrier test, I think. So, like, she could do every other test and perform really well, but she couldn't do the barrier test. Plenty smart, he just refuses to use his brain, lol. The Run is also mentored by Rana, so it does help a lot. Run isn't dumb, he's just more instinctive. There's also, like, guys, you need to remember, Run was able to pass all the classes pretty quickly, right? The only class that you couldn't pass was the freaking, what was it, geography thing? So it's just that he's bad at one subject, right? He's just bad at a single subject. Topology, I think, yeah. Are you deaf? I said get out! Ooh, look at her shouting. The tempers of hers hasn't changed one bit. I try to understand her. Think of how she must be feeling now. Yeah, okay. At this moment, I can just call this woman a freaking whatever. Was failing topology, but the other grades were in all A's. But he passed. Who cares about if it's all A's? He passed. Like, imagine a child comes in, sees her mother for the first time in a long time because she was doing her best in school to get to a good job, to maybe earn a lot of money for the family, blah, 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 blah. And then you just see the head of your mother, and the person's like, damn, look at her shouting. That temper of her. It's like, dude, her dead mother is in front of her. She the only one with feelings? To me, she was an older sister who lived with me for decades. Now Asha shows up in town after not even visiting for years and acts like her daughter? Because she is her daughter! This would have never happened if she had just visited more often in the first place. What would have changed if Asha had visited more often? Like, why would she not have gotten hit by the freaking attack if Asha had visited more often? Stop it, let's just leave. What good would fighting a child do? He passed and ran a hell, but topology as he didn't really calculate there well. Let go of me. Asha, we'll be outside, so come out when you feel ready. During the Great Upheaval, I saw a lot of people crying because they lost their parent and siblings. But at the time, I didn't cry when I lost my dad. And people around me, seeing me like that, said, she's still young, she doesn't understand what death is. But even now, 5 years later, there aren't any tears in my eyes. Do I not know what death is because I'm still young? No, I know very well what death is. I can explain it perfectly, both biologically and philosophically. The reason that I don't cry even now is that I know that crying is a waste of time. I know very well that crying solves nothing. I'm going to go on living. I'm going to be strong, without crying and without being frustrated. That's Asha's aunt. She's angry at Asha, but she's also mourning for her sister-in-law. By the way, Asha's mom was traveling to visit Asha when the attack happened, so her aunt and some other characters said if Asha visited more, she wouldn't have died. Which is not certain. It is not certain. In a speech bubble, she said she was like an older sister, so was she really her aunt, or was it just like was it really like this, like the sister, or is it just like a very close relationship of growing up? By the way, and she was traveling. They're definitely looking for something to blame. Yeah. Crying and without being frustrated. Just like you wanted, Mom. I'm going to get along with other people and go on living, since that was your last request. It's the only way that I can repeat everything that I've received from you. What's that sound? Ignore it. You'll die if you go outside. Although, it wouldn't be terrible to end your life just like your mom. You tell it's too great for that? So triple attributes really are valued the most. Divine magic is really unfair. That woman definitely said she was Asha's mom's sister. Well, in the chapter that I'm reading here, let me scroll back up so I can show you what I mean. Is she the only one with feelings? To me, she was an older sister who lived with me for decades. Okay, she didn't say she was like an older sister. She said she was an older sister. Which I interpreted like she was like an older sister, not necessarily that they actually were siblings. Doesn't change too much. Okay, who's this boy? Very few people in history are born as humans with such abilities. What does he mean? Is there something wrong with this kid? How long has he been there? Been a really long time with my sister. Really unfair coping. Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Would you like to know? Then come closer this way. Asha is like, step, step, step. Alright, I'm here. Answer me. You're still too far. Come one step closer. Not in the mood to mess around with you right now. What difference would one more step make? One more step and she wouldn't have gotten hurt. See? I told you to come one step closer. You'll be fine in a quarter of a day. I could just heal you right away, but this is your punishment for being stubborn and not listening to me. I think it's gone now. If you're wondering about the situation outside, you can go out now. Who are you? That was her first encounter with a kid. Interesting how it kinda mirrors Lee's and how she's dealing with her dad. I was going to try to get along with them at least for my mom's sake, but the townspeople were all dead before I could even try talking to them properly, because of the red sky that they said hurt my mom. Interesting kid, eh? Yeah, it's most likely not the god that gave Asha the powers to use the revival thing and stuff. Yeah, this 100% was Vishnu. Planet count has 3 moons. The one shown in this episode is the smallest, since the night sky is generally bright, it's hard to see the stars. But since the planet has already been destroyed, this is just useless information. The woman arguing with Asha is her aunt. The man is her aunt's husband. Continue. Those of you who've read the chapter often might feel as though you've seen this episode somewhere before. There are many scenes and a lot of dialogue that previously appeared when the characters were thinking about their past. It should be very obvious who the boy is. Where have we seen red sky attacks before? Back in episode 94, when Asha encountered the Carter water channel, she had flashbacks of asking her mother to open her eyes. Carter's destruction was in the year N5, 5 years after the Cataclysm upheaval. It was not destroyed during the Cataclysm. And there they are gone, Rip townsfolk. But are they truly gone? Did Asha ever test if they really were gone? Or is it a situation like with Lise, where apparently no one died? That's like my biggest question for freaking Kubera. What do you mean that apparently no one died in the Lise situation? What do you mean no one died? I love how bothered you are right there. Come on, it's like a mysterious big thing. It's like they even mentioned, oh yeah, if she met Kaz and his brother, but like, what about like if Lisa's mother is still alive? Like, why is nobody going around asking for Lise? Are they in hiding right now? Maybe they are in hiding so they can't communicate and be like, hey, have you seen Lise? My daughter is missing. Or do they just think that Lise died? Do they think Lise died and are not trying to not looking because they think she's dead? Like why is neither side? She's carrying the head of her mother around with herself. The reason they originally wanted to be a magician was because they're the elite class on this planet. Even after failing to enter the magic academy because of my divine affinity, I may have been upset about not being able to rise to the position of a magician, but I was never once jealous of the power itself. I thought that even if I went to a regular school, I could lead a successful life as a scholar. In an age where the superior Ashuras had vanished, following the great upheaval, without any great threats, I figured that becoming a great scholar was just as significant of a success as being a magician. It's good that you're keeping the past mysteries in your head, can't say more than that without spoiling. But in N5, the superior shores we thought had disappeared reappeared again, and the situation here changed drastically, completely. With just knowledge from books, which was completely useless in this situation, the weak body of a 10-year-old girl and divine affinity of 136, I was all alone. Yep, there are many mysteries answered, and it's good to question everything. My desire for a successful life as a scholar disappeared. This plan was not only no longer an environment in which one could live such a life, but I fully realized just how weak and useless the profession of a scholar was. My new goal for the rest of my life, a simple and yet firm goal. My goal was to get stronger than everyone. I wanted to live a life of power, without feeling any kind of weakness, getting revenge on the Shuras who had ruined my future. Of course I have no power, but there are always ways if you look. The lost fiendish magic. With my low divine affinity, there's a chance that I might have high fiendish affinity. If I'm unlucky, both divine and fiendish affinity could be low, but it's worth checking. Fiendish magic may have vanished 1000 years ago, but there must be records about it somewhere if I search for it. Don't bother, it will just be a waste of time. How's your wound? I made sure it would be all better in around a quarter of a day. Is it hurting at all? You're the kid from before! This won't be enough firewood if you're trying to burn that head. I saw this coming, so I brought some more. You knew, didn't you? You said to me because you knew in advance that an attack was coming, right? Okay, dubious choice. I lie Theos more to raise. Dubious choice. I lie Theos more to raise her adopted daughter. Okay. Huh? I like Theos. I lie Theos more to raise her adopted daughter. Okay, Theo? I like Theo's personal dealing with her loss more. Theo? Maro, I'm so lost. It's about treating Asha here right now, but Theo? She and Elwyn found each other. Elwyn, she cared about an orphan. Carrying her mother's head around, then making a campfire out of it. So morbid. Well, she's not making a campfire out of the head, Stepan. She's burning the head. Like a freaking, you know, turning into ash. Oh, Elwyn and Theo. Yeah, it's somewhat similar, different as well. I think Maro meant that Theo also lost her family, but dealt with it better than Asha did. The thing with Asha already is that Asha was already broken before losing her family. Or saying broken is also not necessarily right. Asha was just different. She was an autist. Asha had some form of autism. But she could deal with this stuff, but now she was like, well, being smart is not enough. Now I also need to be extremely powerful. I need to be the strongest there was ever. I want to be the very best. It's a burial, okay? Oh, okay. Indian burials burn, but it's still so Asha. A lot of characters lost their family so far in the story. Considering that there was a freaking world-ending disaster just about 15 years ago, yeah, that makes sense that a lot of them lost their family. Why didn't you tell someone earlier? If you had said something just a bit earlier, my town could have been safe. There's no reason. What? You think they're the only dead ones off the planet? Of course not. Tens of millions of people have already died. I may have saved you because you're valuable, but there's no reason to go so far as to save those town people. Then before those others, tens of millions of people who died. This isn't the only planet facing a disaster. Since the beginnings of time, no, since before then, everything has always had the time to be destroyed. Nothing in the world is eternal. Asha had issues, but it's not like she was out of options and was even willing to pay more attention to her social life. Then the attack destroyed those options. Countless universes have come into existence and have been destroyed. For someone who remembers all of that, a disaster over a single planet evokes absolutely no emotions. Asha Rahiro, could you explain to me why this planet deserves special treatment? Now that you're speechless, you're probably thinking. You're sure that the person in front of you is not human, so you try to guess who he might be. You gather seemingly irrelevant clues from your miscellaneous knowledge acquired in the library, and you reach a conclusion. Primeval God Vishnu. I knew it! You're as smart as I expected. Pulling yourself together, setting a goal, and even establishing a plan to learn fiendish magic. Not long after experiencing such a thing. Although the problem with that plan is that it's going to be a waste of time. I can't believe it. They said that Vishnu disappeared during a great upheaval. That's right, I did. It's true that at present Vishnu isn't here. What you're seeing right now is a being created from transcendental of the past Vishnu. So I guess you could say that I both exist here and I don't. Schrödinger's Vishnu? Even Ron. Yes, he has Rana and Lutz and Elaine and his Grams, but his parents died too. Did you fall on your caps button? Even finished magic, she must really be invested. Yeah, she tried to think about anything possible. Well, there's no need to consider the possibility that I'm an insane boy talking nonsense after coming this far. But if you're really that suspicious, would this help you? Accept it? You look confused. You can speak politely if you like, I don't really care. Anyway, you're really smart, Asha. Even in spite of your biological limitations as a human, your calculation speed equals that of the highest gods. but you lack experience, and your thought lacks depth. If I leave you like this, you'll just end up running out your lifespan after a series of trial and errors without even approaching the goal that you set a minute ago. Then are you saying that you'll help me? I can, but it comes at a big price. First, tell me what you need, and what you can give me in return. I need power. I don't care if I lose my own life. There are lots of people trying to make their wishes come true at the cost of a life. What greater thing is there that you can offer? Anything? Everything that I have? Everything? And so did Asha lose her memories here? That's my first idea. She's screaming, crying. Around 500 years ago, it was a moment when just a single creature died who understood the primeval gods. Only those involved in the primeval god know about it, but I especially let you experience it vividly. Okay, so it wasn't taking a memory. Like, I thought he was taking away the memories of like her family and their past, which made her even care less about everything. But instead of taking, he gave a very hurt memory. Alright, now do you understand how deadly it is to put everything on the line? That's not something to be said easily. What am I supposed to do? I don't have anything right now. There's nothing I can offer. You may not have anything now, but there are things that you will have. I'm the god who deals with time, so I can accept things even if you don't have them right now. Things that people often have, but which you don't have right now. But if you give up something which you may get in the future, I'll give you the power that you want. Alright, I'm not sure what it is, but I'll give it up. You decided too quickly. Think it over a bit more. Many people consider this more precious than their own lives. I thought you said I don't have it right now anyway. It may be precious to other people, but it's meaningless to me. I don't care about not having something in the future that I don't have right now. That's all that I have to pay for power, then it's worth it. He does care, but it explains her being that jaded and taking, needs to get the power. Taking everything she literally gets power. I wonder really what was taken here, but you know what Vishnu here reminds me of? Vishnu reminds me of, like, the devil. Like, the one story that I read in school that left the biggest impression on me is Faust. You know, the tragedy, Faust the tragedy, and Faust doing like a deal with Mephisto. This very much feels like a deal with Mephisto. Oh, I can give you everything you want. All you need to do, I can make you very happy. All you need to do is give me one thing, one simple thing. And you wouldn't even care because it's not something that you have or you care about anyway or you believe in. Vishnu is a scumbag. Very well. Then we'll give you a chance equal to that which you have given up. Scenery suddenly changed. What's that? People? What are they doing? They're tied up together, since it would be hard for you to kill them if they were free. This is a kind of test, like a preparation stage for entering battle. You kill all of them, I will give you divine affinity of over 1000. It's not bad for a starting point. If you can't do it, just say so. I'm only giving you a chance, not forcing you. Everything is simply a single possibility. What you gain and what you lose depends on your decisions. Chapter Asha is almost finished. The next episode will be the last one. The beginning part could be considered a little brutal, but I struggled a lot with this, but I didn't want to compromise too much. The problem is that readers could think, ugh, even though Asha wouldn't bat an eye. But if I make it too graphic, then it becomes too violent for my Webtoon's rating, so I can't do that. Vishnu remembers everything about the process of creation and destruction of many universes. How old must he be? Well, basically since the beginning of time, or even before that. He's the most profound character, but he gives you a huge headache. Asha's processing speed is on par with the higher level gods, but then can Idiotismith think as quickly as Asha? Yes, he can. Shocking. But the ability to do math well and looking smart are usually different matters. An older version of the scene of Asha from the back holding her mother's head appeared in episode 4. You can see a slight change in art style between then and now. Some of the dialogue in this episode was previously in episode 221. The vision shown to Asha was that to Ananta's death 500 years ago, which apparently threw the universe off balance. Dialogue should say primeval gods because there are 4 of them. So The vision she saw was Ananta's death, which threw everything out of universe. Ananta has been dead for 515 years now? Oh. Last chapter of Asha. Let's drink a bit something. I'm going to get revenge. I can do it. Even if I can't, I'll make it happen. It doesn't matter whether that means it's just... In the end, I will be the one who wins. Hoti Marut. Use Marut to magically to cut your hair? Why? I simply wanted to test whether my divine affinity had increased. Oh yeah? Huh. You started being more formal around me. Isn't it obvious to speak formally to a god? Now that I've confirmed that my divine affinity has increased, there's no need to doubt you anymore. I was short-sighted before. I see. But you know, Asha, remember this one thing. Gods have an ability known as insight. Hiding your feelings doesn't really do anything. Anyway, this is as much power as you're going to get that easily. In order to obtain greater power than this, you have to find the people of the god's name and kill them. People of the god's name? That's right, it looks like you're ready to begin now, so I'll tell you what you need to do. But first, up until here is the first half. Well, isn't it good? You took the opportunity that I gave you? Otherwise you would have just wasted time running out your lifespan and died in N13. But, if I need to kill a superior Shura, wouldn't it be enough to just have decent divine affinity and team up with other magicians? Why on earth are you telling me about this method? Of course that's all you need to do if you only want revenge. But that's not your goal, is it? No, my goal is revenge. To get revenge on the superior Shuras who killed my mom and destroyed the town. That's why I want to get stronger. Yeah, there's some big landmarks on the timeline already. Fiendish magic vanished, then 500 years later Ananta died, then 500 years later the Cataclysm. Is that so? Well then, you should have asked me to bring back your mother. Why did you ask for power of all things? Usually if someone lost a family member when they meet me, they ask me to bring back their dead family member. Asking for power to get revenge rather than reviving your dead mother is really doing the things in reverse order. Surely you can't be unaware of what kind of powers I have. So why would a smart kid like you make a wish like that? She's also a good contrast to Lise, who lost everything but is way too selfless. The answer is simple. Your decision to get revenge was never against the Shura who killed your mom. Your rage at having a future crush was even greater than your sadness at losing your family. So even when a chance came for you to make a wish, you said that you wanted power first without even thinking of reviving your mother. You were sad about her death, but bringing her back in this situation wouldn't change the fact that you've hit rock bottom. So you thought it would be better to have power, getting revenge, and living a life where you win. Killing two birds with one stone. From magician to scholar, from scholar to one with great power, from the moment you were born until now, the most important value that has determined your life's goal. That value compels you to want power so badly that you'll never be satisfied with just mediocre power. You want the ultimate power, so you won't lose to anyone, for example. Of course I would rather stand at the top than be crushed. Any human being would. I didn't say it's wrong. Of course it's natural. It's the same for other creatures, not just humans. But there's a clear difference depending on how much that desire dominates one's life. It's especially rare to find a human being with the intelligence to memorize their entire future that I tell them. Then, you mean there are some? Yeah, there were. Particularly on a planet which is on the verge of destruction. There are lots of people seeking power and some of them were very intelligent. And those people died just a moment ago. Asha, at the tip of your sword. They wanted power, but when I told them what to do, they said they couldn't commit murder. So I gave them yet another choice, where they would return to where they lived originally, or whether they would take a chance at starting a better life. I promised that if all of the other candidates whom I chose refused to commit murder, I would send them all to a different planet, so that they could live in peace. As a result, 7 people decided to return to where they had been living without taking a risk, and 12 people agreed to the gamble and stayed behind. I believed that the next candidate to show up would also refuse to commit murder, so they stayed here, dreaming of a better life on another planet. It's a long timeline. You should take a closer look at who Vishnu is making. He offers there. At who Vishnu is making the offers there. Like, these people are covered up, so it's hard to recognize. And for me, it's hard to recognize silhouettes. Like, I'm not sure if this is... I just don't know. Like, the only people who are on Willarth that would make sense for me, it would be like, oh, is that Mirha? Is that the goat person that is with Saha? Because I think she was also from Carta. And then there's a bunch of people covered with sex. And then, the last candidate was you, Asha. If you had made the same choice as them, they would have won their bet with me. Anyway, those 12 people probably went to a better place, right? Since they're souls who refused to commit murder, even in the worst possible situation. Even hell will recognize their spirits. I'm not saying that you're a bad person. From the perspective of those who aren't human, humans' lives aren't very important anyway. Later. But this is another one of those things that you could keep at the back of your mind. So Asha had a reason. Asha had her... Like, the thing is, Asha has reasons, Taco, yes. This whole scene, I mean... Yes, Asha has reasons. But are those reasons really valid? Are those reasons really valid to become a mass murderer? Like, she has reasons, but she is not in the right. And that's, like, something I'm standing on. Although the guy who judges people in the underworld does see murder as a particularly severe crime. There are people with talent declining. What is it? Do you regret it now that I'm telling you about hell? No, I have no regrets. No regrets. I wouldn't have killed them if I were afraid of hell. Right. I hope you continue to not regret it in the future. Alright now, I'll tell you in detail about your choices after N15. After N15 is after, like, we are in N15 right now, so... Oh my god, spoilers? Before that, I'm curious about something. Huh? Before, among the things that you said I would have to do in the first stage. Meeting Mirha? No, I understand that that's part of the process of getting a ticket for the transport ship. What I can't understand is what I have to do on the transport ship. The part of paralyzing the power room and making it look like an accident. Why on earth do I have to do that? We are in N16 right now, actually. N15 is the start of the series. The year changed. Oh, right. The year changed at some point. Oh good, it's already appearing here. I didn't even understand the outcome either. 2 people die on the ship and all of the others arrive safely in Willarth. Are you sure you didn't tell me something wrong? No, I didn't say anything wrong. 2 people die and the rest arrive in Willarth. Who on earth are those 2 people? One of them is the priest of wind. She will summon the god of wind in order to evacuate people from Carta to Willarth and make her lifespan decrease until right before her death. The ship arrives at the scheduled time. She's destined to die after she sets foot in Willarth. But in the event that you paralyze the power room, the transport ship will arrive in Willarth later than expected, and the priest will die on the ship. I see, so one of them is destined to die anyway. Then what about the other person? Okay, so why is it important though that the priest will die on the ship compared to dying on Willarth? What would it change? Since the god disappears when his priest dies, the transport ship that was floating by the god's power faces the danger of crashing into the ground. But someone will appear right then. Someone who will use their own body as a shield to make the ship land safely in Willarth. Okay, that's the important part. So by the priest dying on the ship, the god disappears, and then Rao will have to step up to save everyone. The scene with the papers appeared before when Asha remembered the instructions to kill the fiancé together with the priest of life too. Human making a ship land by themselves? Wouldn't it be better for such a person to be alive, since we have to face a superior shores in the future? Of course it would be better to keep them alive for the sake of killing superior Ashuras, but if they survive and make it to Willarth, they will become a very powerful enemy who takes over the entire position that you wanted. On planet Willarth, there's a candidate chosen by another god, not by me. She's younger than you, but she was born with extraordinary potential. In this state, there's no hope of you winning. But if you just paralyze the power room and sacrifice someone, that girl's life goes from being a candidate for victory to utter hell. Her mind and body will be torn to shreds, and her chance of winning, which were once the best, will be then the worst. Even her dazzling destiny to always occupy the highest places of power right in front of you will come crashing down to a life of just chasing after you. You probably don't really understand right now, huh? But you'll realize soon who the person is who will die when you paralyze the power room, whose life will change as a result of their death. So think carefully and decide when the time comes. Everything is simply a single possibility. What you gain and what you lose depends on your decisions. There she is in the car. I have no intention of blaming you since I chose this path myself anyway. But I'm certainly curious, Vishnu. Would the other possibility that you saw in me at the time, the other path that I didn't choose, really have been unhappier than now? Yeah, the other option was that Rao would have taken Asha with him, then she would have been raised together with Lise and her mother, and she would have kind of become an older sister figure for Lise. Asha low-key ruined Lise's life. Well, technically you could argue that Vishnu ruined it because he told her to do the kind of things, you know? But it's... The thing is, you can't put it entirely on Asha, because it was Vishnu giving her the stuff and telling her she needs to do that to get your revenge. And Asha, who's already broken and basically is thinking, I need all of the power, like, she could have, she just went with it. Of course, if Vishnu wasn't there, he would have died during the attack anyways. But it was all Asha's choice in the end, yes. But didn't you, Vishnu, though? It's all Asha's responsibility since you made the choice of yours, course. Well, you know what that is? That is the same way that Asha is gaslighting Lise. That is the same way that Asha is gaslighting Lise. Lise, it was your decision to do this. Lise, it's your fault this happened. Lise, it was all your responsibility that everything happened. Like, it's the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, I gave this kid a gun and then they killed somebody with it. It's totally the kid's fault. Totally the kid's fault. The things that remain. I mean, she keeps Lise alive and she says she can't kill Lise, but messed up gaslighting. For those who were curious about who the first candidates chosen would kill in the beginning, those two were the best fighters were chosen, summoned together and told the first one to kill the other would be granted power. But they both said that they couldn't do it. So in the end, the one who was returned home and the other agreed to a bet and was shackled there. A bunch of people will refuse to take Vishnu's choice. Yeah, but it doesn't mean, oh, because 10 people reject the offer of the gun to kill somebody else, it doesn't make the 11th person taking a gun and killing someone more guilty. Like, they are guilty, but the person who gave the gun is also just as guilty. I'm saying that Vishnu is a freaking sinking piece of poopy head. The fact that he kept offering the gun to... Indeed. Imagine what changes that the guy died who was. Didn't she say she kills Rao? What changes the guy died who was... Didn't she say she kills Rao? Yeah, Asha did kill Rao. And, I mean, yes, we know it because Rao, like, she technically killed Rao because she made this freaking storage thing or the energy whatever thing explode, and then things were paralyzed, and then the god, the wind priest who would have stayed alive until they landed died early. Then the god disappeared, which in turn led Rao to need to rescue everybody, and then Rao rescued everybody, but by basically stopping the ship from crashing and probably catching it with his bare hands like a freaking Chad, he got crushed by the ship or whatever and died from that. So yes, she did kill Rao, but it was not like a Hoti Marot kill. It was more like a domino effect kill. And Corey is so true. Corey, that's so true. It's like person walking up to person A. I'm going to give you this gun, kill those people and you will get $1 million. Oh, you won't do that? That's fine. Do you want to stay here, and if the next person takes the gun they get $2 million to kill you, or you can leave. Then the next person, do you want to kill them or do you want to stay with them? And if the next person kills all of you, they get $3 million. Oh, you don't want to kill them but you will stay? Okay, but do you want to kill them? Here, $4 million if you kill all of them. Do you want to take the gun? Oh my god. Taking a sip. So she does feel guilty about keeping these alive. I don't think she feels guilty. Guilty is the wrong word here, I think. Question is, what did the first guys have to do, since he would have been the first one there? We all know what it was. We all know what it was to step on. Vishnu was a freaky god. Vishnu was a freaky god. There for sure was some sort of other thing. Two people kept appearing in turns in my dreams that repeated for ages. It may have been a dream, but nothing went according to my will. There was nothing special about it. It was just a repetition of the things that I actually experienced. Yeah, Asha and Lisa's relationship is interesting for sure. It is. Listen well, kid. I have come to kill you. But after checking out your potential, I've decided to let you live. However, the road you take will make you regret that you didn't die today, so I will let you choose your path. Will you choose to live a desperate life full of regret, or will you take the easy way out and choose to die here? In my opinion, I don't think it's such a bad decision for you to die here. Compared to when I first asked you the question, you have even more reasons to live now. But if you decide to live based on those couple of reasons, for sure, you will regret the decision later. Haven't I told you already? There's no next time, this is the last. Huh? What? Really? Then this is it? And it may not be the last, however. You'd better forget about me. Trust those who are by your side from here on out. Everyone keeps talking about choices. Trust them, hold on to them, keep them by your side, the more the better. That way you will... Even if I don't want to? Should I keep them by my side even if I don't want to? Should I trust just anyone? No, never mind. Just do as you please. Actions without your own will may bring an even worse outcome. Can I hold on to you, mister? You just said I should trust and hold on to as many people as I can. I want to hold on to you, so let's not say that this is the end. Come back and check whether I've grown stronger later. If you do so, I won't complain about you stroking my hair. Huh? The Shubira Shura that attacked your village was simply following his orders. It was the main instigator behind it. As soon as you see an opportunity, cut his head off. This makes no sense. The reason that this flashback. There must be a reason, right? Goals and choices, eh? Minus Agni, who seems just nice. Like, you got dragged all... There must be a reason, right? Like, you got dragged all the way here when you have nothing to do with this. Too, when I met Mira. Basically, Ultra Mira's a very smart girl. These are just flashback stuff. That's a lot of flashback sequence. Because I'm pretty sure all of this text was there before. Okay. That was the dream that repeated in her mind. Didn't take me this long. I recognized these things the entire time, but I wanted to read the speech bubbles just to make sure if the text was the same, or if maybe they gave us a different point of view, or maybe they were thought bubbles for what the people were thinking during the time. But then I just started fast scrolling and noticing, yeah, it's entirely the same. Where's Lisa right now? That day was the last day I saw Asha, and she hasn't shown up since. I saw something flash at a distance as I screamed in Yuta's arms, and that flash came rushing over to where I was at an astounding speed. When I woke up, I was on the Pyro plateau. They say that Yuta is the one who brought me here, so for now Yuta is safe. The date was long after that day, and at some point while I was unconscious, people had gone back to their daily lives. But there was a problem with the daily life. It may have seemed ordinary to other people, but it looked very strange to me. Mira, listen to me for a minute. You were clearly at the trial, right? Yeah, that's right. Do you remember what you did at the time? How could I not remember that? I defended your guarantor. Yeah, that's right, you defended Asha. We agreed up until there. Listen with me, could I get a separate bowl? Then Asha escaped, Asha heard Saha, and then came to me. This is really serious, Mira. Asha is not only the culprit who did that to Saha, but she even has ties with the Shuras. Plus, wow, Lise, how did you eat this whole thing before? It's amazing even seeing it a second time. Not that they don't remember. Judging from how everyone is resolving what happened that day, they must remember. But they don't care. About that golden scales that we saw in the sky that day. About the superior Shuras who were gathered near Rent Hello. Even about Asha having killed Saha. They remember, but they're not thinking about it. It's a godly item that you have to have. The godly item that you have to have triple revival attributes to wear. As far as I know, there's the only item among that kind of items that you wear on your head. It's probably. As far as I know, there's the only item among that kind of items that you wear on your head. It's probably. Holy shit, that's written so badly. I'm just worried you can't hide it forever because you're embarrassed, right? Why don't you worry about Kazak having gone missing instead of worrying about that kind of thing? Why would I worry about that? All people talked about was the transcendental energy that attacked the city and Kazak's disappearance. No matter how much I tried talking about the golden scales or Asha, it was no different than shouting at a wall. Loser Kim! Agni, Priestess Brilith! Huh? Ah, Lise! Who? Priestess, don't you remember? Before in Altera, Brilith is just a bit sick. Brilith, why don't you go inside and rest a bit? I'm not sick though. What about Asha? Do you remember Asha? I was with Asha in Altera. We spent almost a month at the temple. You said you were an old friend of Asha's and that you've even taken a magic exam together. Please, stop it. Enough of that. Don't you find it strange, Agni? Right now, everyone is strange. Asha was the talk of the town during the trial just recently, but now everyone's trying not to think of Asha at all. Whenever I mention her, everyone ignores me and changes the subject. Even Saha. It's absurd to say that Saha just passed away in a mysterious attack. Oh, Maroket is going crazy. I heard it straight from Asha's own mouth. The one who killed Saha is... Brilith. Calm down, Brilith. It's okay. There's nothing wrong. You're safe here. Suddenly got into the priestess. Please, I'm sorry, but I would like you to leave. What? I can buy you as many mushroom skewers as you like, but I don't want to hear about that. So don't bring it up here again. Basically because Asha vanished after using the revival spell again. It's like nobody cared that she gone missing because it's an effect of the spell that she disappeared from existence and stuff. Just like the last time where she was missing for 3 years, right? Is this your first time in Ilhof? I should have shown you around before. I have no idea what the person who was with you has been doing with you aside from constantly shooting off her mouth and nagging you. Can you talk about it, Ran? Can you talk about Asha? Huh? About who? All like Saha said before. Yes, sir. What did I say? Anyway, the doors to the creation brand wouldn't be open at this hour. So for now, let's head to my brother's place. My brother is super busy lately. What are you here for? Thought you would be busy preparing for the wedding. We're having the wedding in Misty Shore, but it would be better to get stuff for the wedding in Ilov. And since you're busy lately, I thought I would stop by to help you too. Feel a bit bad for you being buried in work like that while your little brother's getting married first. Stop getting on my nerves and just sit down there. The best way for you to help me is by doing nothing. So harsh. I'm still in AA, you know? Do you think I can't even handle one little document? This document isn't really my style. It's not that I can't read it, it's just not my style. Where's the secretary when there's so much work to do? She's taking a vacation for a while. She said she needed some time to cool down. Someone else is acting as the manager of the Magicians Union. And as my personal bodyguard, well, there's no one to protect now. The longer the lifespan of a creature, the slower its life grows cold. According to that, Tilda must be suffering more than anyone now. Then she'll have to spend a lot more time thinking about the only one person who have left first. Huh? What do you mean? You're saying that she liked Saha? But that's not true. It seems to me she would prefer... I've been Tilda's side for a long time, longer time than you have. So I know her much better. In the 35 years that she met Saha, she's always been imperious to even the most attractive guys. Are you talking about Saha? I know who killed Saha. It was Asha. Asha told me to my face that she did it. Why aren't you investigating it? Heard there were a ton of security cameras on the Heavenly Tower. I'm sure there must be evidence if you just search a bit. Why aren't you looking for Asha even if she's escaped from prison? Anyway, we can't just sit around feeling sad about Saha's death. There's the problem of finding someone to replace Saha's empty place right now. But just the fact itself that we lost such a fair and overwhelmingly talented leader, there's no denying that there will be power struggles among the factions of magicians on this planet. Ron is getting married. At least one good thing is happening right now. He's more dense than Ron. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's interesting how no one is even capable of talking about Asha. Like, their bodies are almost trying to resist everything. It's like the entire rule of the universe are making it impossible for them to think or talk about Asha in detail. Will that really happen with Agni and Chandra around? The gods are the ones with actual power, even if magicians do fight among themselves. Everyone completely ignores me whenever I mention anything about Asha. Excuse me, can I look at this? At least you can just pick up whatever you like. It could be a secret document for my brother. It's okay, those are just some useless files that were on Saha's desk. You can look at them if you like, but there's not much to see. Principle of 3 unsettled pieces of evidence disappeared with Hoti Vishnu. Look at how empty those text papers are. Now why can't Lisa remember Asha? You get any ideas? I mean, we know she's special. We know she's a protagonist. It also said about she has the power of the god's name, which is why I kind of thought that maybe Ran would remember. I am very much sure that Agni of course remembers because Agni is a god, and it seems like Agni was like saying, I can talk with you, I can and I'm willing to talk to you about this, but I can't do it right now, not in front of Brilith, because Brilith for some reason also somehow seemed to remember, and I think Brilith to a degree remembers because she summoned a god, so she has like partial like protection from like godly abilities. I would just interpret it in that way, and so when Lise talked about that, it messed with Brilith's brain of like, no, I saw it. I also got hurt by Asha. But I can't remember this. Why am I hurting this much? And then she's just screaming and getting in pain more and more. So I feel like it has to do something with the connection to gods and gods protecting you from like the godly powers, blah 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 blah, higher divine affinity, or like connection to god names. I don't know. Because Brilith seemed to remember, but not really remember, but like her body seemed to get shudders and shivers and hurting. Route to obtaining the ticket for the transport ship. This can't be. These can't be. These seem extremely important, even at a glance. Do they not even care about records when it comes to Asha? Anyway, I can't believe this was all on Saha's desk. Since long ago, Saha has been... missing for 3 years since N12. The reason that people forgot about Asha Rahiro's existence at the time. So she isn't the only Kubera. But she also has the Sword of Return, and she has the golden bracelet, and she for some reason, when Vishnu was talking with Asha about stuff, Vishnu was specifically talking about Kubera Lise as like being a very special person, of like being the person that would work against the fate of the future and stuff. So even besides having just the name of Kubera, there must be a difference in like people with the names. Not every Kubera is born the same. Dream sequence is an essential part of the story, so it's quite long. The flashback scenes and the events that happen after she woke up, the episode is longer than usual for this webtoon. However, it's not a shorter episode with flashbacks added, but a normal length episode with the flashbacks added on top of that. What's really under Rana's head? The silhouette for the item appeared in the webtoon somewhere. I just gave you a very strong hint. What Bliff is wearing right now isn't a formal priest outfit, but a Magician's Guild on uniform. She's only wearing it temporarily. Before the next episode is released, if you read episode 2-143, things will make more sense. The episode explains the side effects of Vishnu in particular, the fact that everyone avoids thinking about the person who vanished. Silhouettes of several of Vishnu's items were shown in episode 89. Most fans believe that the item Rana is wearing under the head are the kitty ears. Regarding a sheet of paper with the title Route to Obtaining a Ticket to the Transport Ship, recall in the previous episode that Vishnu revealed to Asha at least one way to get the ticket to the transport ship from Kart to Villarf. Hide is a Kali item too. Right. She also has the hide. Don't forget the god item. It is a Kali item that has been further enhanced by Utah as well. That's true. My brain is going empty, man. I'm working on cinders here. I need to sort my artwork folder after the stream. But technically all of these are public, so I can't even do the thing that I wanted to do anymore. And some of these, oh, I 100% need to hide some of these. I don't want to look at these anymore. They hurt me. Let me just quickly throw these into the don't open folder. I don't want to look at these anymore. Man, what a stupid idiot I was. I need, don't I have like a red box, red filter box download? Let me quickly do that. Oh, what in between episodes were in that released? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. What can I put in there to filter things out? Okay, that's fine. That works. Oh, you mean the side stories that were only released later on season 3? The side story things. The Hoti Vishnu penalty that I saw in Saha's records. Long ago, Asha once used the penalty to disappear for 3 years. And at the time, just like now, nobody paid attention to Asha. In spite of the fact that she was the most noticed poison on the planet for being an A++ rank, and in a trial for accidental manslaughter. After she disappeared, her very presence itself disappeared completely. It's said that even Saha, who performed that investigation, didn't pay attention to Asha for those 3 years. It's not that they couldn't remember Asha, but for some reason they were just refusing to think about her. It's the same now. Asha is someone who was sentenced to death during the Grand Magician's Conference, and yet no one cares that someone like that vanished. How could I not remember that? I defended your guarantor. I have no idea what the person who was with you has been doing with you aside from constantly shooting off her mouth and nagging you. Judging from our conversations, they definitely do remember Asha. Wow, Lise, how do you eat this whole thing before? Huh? About who? What did I say? But as soon as their focus turns to Asha, that's when they stop thinking about it. Specifically, the first batch was during the hiatus after Season 3, Episode 160. Then will Asha be gone for 3 years again this time? I don't know about that. The number of years may not be predetermined. Asha could be gone for longer than that if she wants. As Hoteyama revealed, Asha's remaining lifespan is very short. If she's able to choose how long she's gone for, she would rather stay missing for as long as possible and then return at a decisive moment, then come back early and waste the rest of her life. Asha's goal has never just been to eliminate the Shuras. Her killing Saha wouldn't make sense if that was her goal. Why do you try so hard just to boost your power? You could have cooperated with Saha. If you had told Saha about this plan of yours, she would have cooperated with you. Why did you have to go so far as killing someone? If I had done that, then it wouldn't have been me who wins in the end. I only have one intermediate goal in common with you. My ultimate goal and the values that I'm willing to forsake in order to achieve it are all different. You may not care if you die for someone else's sake, but I do. Your punishment for using it gets worse, so could be longer. I very much don't think that she can control when she comes back. I just think it's... And who says that the 3 years that she disappeared was the only time she ever disappeared? She could have disappeared before that, where it was like, oh, she disappeared for a year at that time. Then she disappeared for 3 years at a time. And now she's disappearing for 5 years. I don't know. I have a goal that goes beyond mere revenge. And in order to achieve it, only I have to survive until the very end. That also is a question here that I didn't talk much about when we last saw that message. And only I have to survive until the very end. By saying, only I. It's like, okay, so does it actually mean only? Or is it like only about the relevant people here? Like, is Asha really saying she wants to be the very last being alive in all of existence? Only I? All of the Shuras gone. All of the Nastika, who are also Shuras, gone. All of the humans from every single planet gone. Every god gone. Is that what she means by only I have to survive? And then when she's the only one, it's kind of like, okay, she's the only one, and then she can reset the universe or something. I don't know. Resetting the universe is a trope that I often see in stories, where it's like, okay, there only one person revives, and then you reset the universe, and everyone comes back to life. The only I thing is not in the fan translation. The fact that she disappeared after saying that means that she will return someday in order to fulfill her goal. She will definitely come back, and when she does, it may be the same, but I will be different. So it could just be that she has to survive at all costs. Other translation says, I must survive until the end. So depending on translation, it changes the context a lot. The Sword of Returning only returns to its place when its owner dies. Of course, all of its previous owners have died and it can't be given to anyone else, while the current owner is still alive, so it's impossible to transmit the method of using transcendental skills. You have to learn how to use it on your own. Judging from how Yuta is able to hold a sword, he must know how to use transcendental skills. But Yuta is on Asha's side. There's no way he would teach me how to use transcendental skills so that I could kill Asha. I thought about why only I escaped from the whole TV's new penalty. Is it because I hate Asha so strongly? Probably not. Asha has killed so many people, there must be lots of people who hate her even more than I do. It's probably just because of Yuta. Because Yuta excluded me from the influence of that magic. That's the only explanation. Could be also that case. But I do think Agni also remembers, and Brilliff also seemed to remember or get hurt more when talking about it. Like everyone else just avoided the topic, but Brilliff seemed to be actively getting hurt. So it being connected to Yuta and his ability of like chaos and stuff, and blocking that God's power, like to affect Skelly, no, Lise, makes some sense, but I doubt that it's the full reason. But why? If only I were able to stop caring about Asha like everyone else, it would have been a bit easier to bear. Did Yuta want to make me suffer more? Or... Hey Yuta, why did you suddenly appear behind me like that? I thought you were trying to kill me. Do you not like me training? Does it bore you? Do I want to kill Asha? Then you could have just let me forget about Asha like everyone else. That's all you had to do. I came to take the soul of returning. Yeah, that's the story of Kubera. Translation matters a lot. No, seriously, this is hilarious. Leaving with my resentment for Asha and taking away my power to get revenge? It's not that, it's just... I've had enough of you toying with me. What is wrong with you? Seriously, what's your problem? Fine, take it. Take all of it. Take the soul of returning, take the height of bondage, even take my... And? Don't you need my body, huh? Take my body since you want it so badly. I actually want to say take my virginity when you're already at it. Well, she's asking him to take her body, so I'm not too far off. What's the matter, huh? You don't want it now? I'm not even worthy of being your food? Oh wait, you're not going to lie to me and pretend that we're friends again now, are you? I don't believe you. I can't believe you. If you really thought of me as a friend, if those smiles to me were ever genuine, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. If you had thought even a little bit about my feelings, you couldn't have done that, Yuta. You wanted to make the joke and Kurigom one up to you, Lima. Human beings are not okay simply being alive. Go. Take a soul of returning and the height of bondage. Just go and don't come back again, please. Please, don't go. Don't go. Don't leave. His inside is awakening. I'm looking at the eyes. I'm seeing the eyes, chat. I'm seeing the eyes. Stay my side and listen to me. Don't ignore me. Don't push me away. All you have to do is listen to me. Please. Oh, he's getting hungry. Good job. I told you to go, didn't I? What is the chain that he put around his old mouth? That's the first time we're seeing this kind of chain. Sorry. I'm sorry, Elise. Please hate me for only being able to do this much. Hate me for not being able to protect you from being hurt completely. What do you mean? It's the best that you can do. Do you think I'm going to soften up because of an excuse like that? I won't. I'm going to keep hating you. I'm going to hate you, Yuta. Bad Yuta. You're so bad, Yuta. And I'm not into bad boys. Please, can you hear me now? Lise always has green eyes. Used that chain a few times before in season 2. He chains himself? Kinky. You know it's funny because I actually thought about something here. I didn't say it out loud because I thought Lise always has green eyes. I was like, oh yeah. Yuta's eyes are now this color because he's using inside abilities, right? Then here his chaos side is trying to take over, where he's like, oh, I want to eat Lise. And he holds himself back and uses the chain to tie himself up. And then he comes up to Lise, and his inside is already over. And then I saw Lise's eyes, it was like, well, Lise's eyes, here, looking at those eyes, those big green eyes, sorry for scrolling up and down, look as a similar color tone than Yuta's eyes. So I was like, oh, does Lise somehow have the power of insight at this point too? Considering that most Kuberas are gone, maybe her power also increased? Maybe she got some of that insight? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. His weapon, he transformed it into a chain before too. Ah. Lise, can you hear me now? Don't cry, don't cry. I was wrong. It was all my fault. He wants to... He's biting himself so hard. Her eyes are a darker shade of green than Yuta's emo. It is a darker shade, but it is similar, and I am just looking for an explanation why she suddenly can understand Shura speak. He's biting himself so hard. I still don't know the reason that I started hearing Yuta's voice that day. Later I found out about several cases where humans are able to hear Shura's voices, but I don't think that I belong to any of them. Because above all, I couldn't hear the voice of any other Shuras at all, except for Yuta. To be continued. When Lise took off the hide of bondage, she no longer had any armors, nor anything else worn over her shirt. Seeing that, do you realize how much of that is part of the hide of bondage? But she doesn't always wear it like an armor warmer. It depends, it could be tied like a scarf. So the end of episode 240, when Lise sat up in her bed, Kurigam also mentioned in her afterward that Naver told her to modify some scenes because they were too adult. Originally, Lise wasn't wearing a bra after she ripped off the shirt, and it had to be drawn in before the episode could be released. The print version of this episode will have the original art without the bra. Like, her bare chest? Look at him stabbing his own legs, Lamar. I missed the leg stabbing part, give me a second. Okay, he's also stabbing his leg. He is not only biting his tongue basically off, he's also stabbing himself in the leg. This guy is holding back so much. You gotta respect Yuta a tiny bit for that, right? You gotta respect him a bit for that. Kazak is locked in another dimension? Yeah, as you know, the thing that disappeared along with Asha have all lost their presence with the people of the world. On the other hand, Kazak's disappearance and the transcendental skill that attacked the city have become a big topic of discussion. So this means at least that Kazak and the Shura who attacked the city didn't disappear with Asha. Team Yuta! Yeah, the printed voices have less censorship for the violence score too. I really wonder how the bookstores in Korea are like. Because... So, some of the webtoons are appearing in Germany in stores now. I've seen Solo Leveling, I've seen Omniscient Ria's Viewpoint, I have seen I haven't seen God of High School. I for sure have seen Omniscient Ria's Viewpoint and Solo Leveling. I have seen The Returner's Magic Must Be Special, I think that's the name. And I think I've seen a few others. But I wonder, like when I was in Japan, I didn't see any manhwa at all. I have literally seen no manhwa in any of the manga stores I went into. So, I'm wondering... Of course in Korea they must be sold a lot, but like, I don't know. Police only wears her bra, we don't see her front. Korea said the censorship has increased over the years, yeah. Oh guys, talk about censorship. Kubera is not big enough, unfortunately. Printed volumes are only available in Korean. Yeah. I'm just wondering, I would like to see... Yeah, I know that for Lookism as well. They always have pop-up events for Lookism in Korea. Have you guys recently heard that a Japanese person was arrested because of copyright infringement and stuff? And that person basically just wrote... Like, this person had, like, a blog or whatever. It was a monetized blog where people had to pay to read the blog entries. And then he wrote a review about... I think it was a Godzilla movie and it was Overlord Season 3. And those two things were finally the thing that pushed them over the edge to sue him. And he even got pushed into prison because he wrote reviews about freaking Overlord Season 3 and Godzilla movie. And they were like, because of his reviews, the people that read the reviews will not be interested in going to the cinema to watch the thing anymore, or just watch the actual source because it replaces the original material, and that was the reasoning for putting him in prison. Kubera isn't that big and Webtoon doesn't help. Webtoon is just drawing things. It's classic Japan. It's the same for... Was the judge the one from Phoenix, right? Higari! That's the thing with Japan. It's also like when you... I don't know if any of you watch like some of the Hololive VTubers or anything, but for technically any company Japanese VTuber, I don't know if the indies in Japan do it, but like if you're affiliated and if you're inside of the Japan place, there's a gaslighter, you always need to ask for permission to play games. And the permission is always, you basically need to message the right holder and be like, hey, I would really like to stream this game. Can I please stream this game? And until you get permission, you're kind of not allowed to stream that game. Which is so stupid. Because according, without that permission, Japan would see it that you would break copyright law or something. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And some of them would spoil though. Yuta and Lee and run out there too. Keychains. Keychain! It's a chain of the key! Select around for trace of the superior Shuros and even went to see Agni while you were unconscious, trying to investigate it as best as I could. But at the moment it doesn't look like even gods are able to properly perceive things that have disappeared. Because whenever I brought up Asha or the Anantas, he would talk about something else to change the subject. Okay, so even the gods don't know, but it seemed that Brilliff reacted, so I feel like the gods are just trying to protect their summonees or something. Reuse is when you invite shills and influencers to events. Did Agni get angry? Or did the priestess next to him get anxious after hearing what you said? At least there was a priestess next to him, but regular humans can't hear me. Right, I got confused for a minute since I can hear you. But am I really hearing you do it with my ears? It feels like your voice is just ringing in my head. Yuta, I figured you would have an adult-sounding voice like Ran, since you grew up so much, but you don't. Male Shuras change the tone of voice drastically when they grow to stage 4. Until then they just sound like boys. She's like, damn, you're actually not as hot as I thought you were. And there's some fun memes where Rana tells Ran, we must save the Romans. Yuta and Lisa are too toxic, and Brilliff and Agni too slow burn. We must save the Romans. Well, try to remember the last thing Brilliff remembers of Asha, and what we're trying to remember that it will do to her. Yeah. That's why I think Brilliff reacts differently, but it also means that she remembers more, because the other ones just don't care. While her body genuinely rejects remembering it because it hurts her to remember. The others just don't care. Anyway, so Agni didn't get angry at you, right? Yeah, he just changed the subject. Then it must have been because of the priestess at the time. I talked about Asha in front of the priestess before, actually. At the time she got anxious and Agni got angry, telling me not to talk about that. He got angry? I'm not sure about why the priestess would be anxious. But humans lose energy when they get anxious, so a god who values the priestess' energy may react sensitively. Maybe don't talk about that just meant something like don't talk about things that upset the priestess. Probably. I was wondering why on earth he would stop me if he knew all about it. There's no way he wouldn't be so There's no way he wouldn't be so complacent if he knew about all of this. He would have talked about it with you when the priestess wasn't with him. You may not know Lise, but he really thinks about you a lot. This all just happened when Asha disappeared. Yeah, I know, I can't do anything about it. But it makes me a bit sad to think that he's going to keep being like that for a few years. Anyway, so I told you about Kazakh. Yeah, at least I was able... Okay, so... Height of Bondage. You don't know, but he has huge abs. Height of Bondage. It kind of has a different shape and can change stuff. So, can we headcanon this into that the Height of Bondage takes on the form that Yuta prefers? Like the form that Yuta wants it to be? Because it's not that Lise can control it. So, Yuta just wants her to have a boob window right now. Because I'm pretty sure the Height of Bondage before didn't have a boob window like that. So right now Yuta is just obsessed. Yeah, at least I was able to hear something about Kazakh. They're sure that he faced off against the Rakshasa stage 5 Shura in space. But they couldn't find him after that. Makes sense with the end of Season 2 extra chapter lol. But I think that Kazakh couldn't defeat that Shura on his own. Would Yuta want Lee's chest to be covered at all? I think it also showed his chest when he wore it. Well, it depends on the moment, Stepan, right? Because if Lise is not covered up, then he would get horny or hungry again. So covering her up is also for his own sanity. Kinda did, I think. This, to be honest, this was Utah's Forsaken modified by Hyde. Utah's foreskin. Can't believe my guy. Well, at least just less covered, cause last episode he tore his shirt off. But I think that Kazak couldn't defeat that Shura on his own. Still, if Kazak had lost it would be strange for that Shura to have not done anything since then. The only option to consider is that Kazak used a transcendental skill called the Gate to the New Moon to drag that Shura into another dimension with him. It's been bothering me because I think I caught a glimpse of that place when I came to my senses that day. I don't know exactly what the Gate to the New Moon is, but anyway, so you're saying that Kazak is stuck in another dimension, and we have to go and save him, right? Yes, there are two possibilities. Either creatures in that dimension considered Kazak as an ally and fought on the same side as him, or they even saw him as food. There's a good chance that he's still alive, they perceived him as an ally, but I'm not sure I can guarantee it. I can't guarantee it. Maybe Lutz made it sexier. You're saying Lutz is this kinky one? What does he mean he can't guarantee it? Anyway, for now I'm trying to remain hopeful. Kazak is an important person to the humans, but to me he's also someone who knows some very important information. That's why I need the Sword of Returning, since it's possible to split dimensions using the Transcendental skill of the Sword of Returning. So I knew about the Sword of Returning's Transcendental skill. He was just hiding it this whole time. Here, take it. You should have taken it when I gave it to you before. Why did you explain all of this to me? Because you looked so stressless. About my behavior, that may have just looked like I simply took Asha's side. I have no idea how I should explain this to you. In fact, I even wondered whether you would be able to understand this even if I explained it. You didn't tell me because you thought I wouldn't understand? Well, you see, for example, Lise, what do you think about killing innocent people, for whom you don't have any particular hard feelings, for the sake of some goal? You're talking about Asha, there's no need to ask, it's the absolute worst. Need I say more? That's why it's hard to explain, since there's such a fundamental difference in our outlooks. To be honest, Asha may have killed countless humans, but I don't feel like that action is bad in itself. I was angry when I heard that she killed your father, but that's because he was your father. It angered me because it made you sad, not because I felt anything about the death of the person named Rao. I'm not able to feel emotions like that in the first place. There may be differences in the degree to which we feel things, but Shuras are almost all like this. We learn not to harm our fellow Shuras or our allies, but everyone just controls themselves for the sake of rules to do as they are told to maintain order. Shura City is a place, Shura City. Gate to New Moon or whatever is more commonly known as Crescent Gate. Yeah, I remember Crescent Gate as well in the past. Shura City is a place where countless murders take place in a single day, either out of necessity or just for fun. It's very rare for a Shura to be able to give value to lives within which have nothing to do with them. And even if they're born with such a heart, they fail to adapt to an environment where Shura devour each other and eventually die out. You probably don't understand at all, right? That's why I didn't tell you. You'll feel more of a sense of distance from me the more you know about this kind of stuff. Above all, you'll be scared instinctively. That's obvious. That's why I thought that maybe it would be better to just hide that. Why Shura City? It's Shura Realm, a world of Shuras! Make the Shura Realm great again! But just know, this one thing, Lise, you're special to me. I never once thought that it was enough simply for you to be alive. I want to protect you completely, so that neither your body nor mine would get hurt. But this fight was too big and complicated for that. That may have only been a fight for revenge to you, but actually it's a tremendous fight, in which the most powerful beings in the universe are clashing with one another. There was no way for you to avoid pain unless you step back from this fight. Okay, so the person here that looks like Vishnu. I would argue this is Kali, because this kind of silhouette kind of reminds me of, like, maybe it's the Bond of Hylic. This person here in the front I would argue is Kubera, and then this person is, like, is Kubera one of the 4 primeval thingies? Primal goddess? I was thinking maybe this is Ananta, but if those 3 are gods, then that wouldn't make sense for this to be Ananta. This could also be Kali, and this could be someone else. I'm pretty sure Kali and Vishnu are on there. Kubera isn't a primeval. The one above is more Kali than the one below. Okay, so at least, like, yeah, like, as I said, I corrected myself at some later point. But it could still be Kubera. I was thinking maybe it's the 4 primeval gods, but I'm pretty sure this is Kubera. Or not. Because this is Vishnu, and this probably is Kali, and then this leaves, who's this? It's not Agni, it's not Chandra. It's... does look like, a lot like Kubera with blonde hair and scarf. And you may have felt betrayed by me in lots of ways, but those were choices I made carefully for your sake, Lise. Kubera is mysterious and confusing. We've seen Brahma and she doesn't really look like anyone here. She's one of the primevals. Okay, so... okay, we can also exclude Brahma from that list then. So that leaves open who is that that fourth character. If like we have Kubera, Kali, and Vishnu, who's that fourth character? Maybe I'm looking at silhouette. Maybe so we have Kali, who is chaotic and has even this eye light, which is kind of like why I was like, oh, maybe it's Ananta because it's the only one where I see those eyes, and he's the strongest. And like that was my thought process why it was Ananta, because Ananta is the strongest of everyone, the ultimate being, and for none of them we see like at least the eyes, but this character is the only one where we even see an eye color, so I was like, maybe it's Ananta. It's not green eyes, they're blue. They're blue, right? I don't know who that could be. You know who it could be? But it wouldn't fit in if those other three are gods. Gandharva. But why would Gandharva be there? But like the long hair fits with Gandharva. I don't know colors that well. It wouldn't make sense for Gandharva to be in this picture with three other gods. So I'm like, I have no idea who this fourth person is. And you may have felt betrayed by me, but in a lot of ways, but those were choices I made carefully for your sake, Lise. Although Asha's behavior went far beyond my expectations, so I ended up hurting you too badly. It may sound like an excuse, but Asha's plan wasn't always like this. It looked to me like Asha chose to protect you. Plus, she was the person who knew the future the most accurately among those involved in this fight. She knew the future? Does it mean that Asha was good at making predictions because she's so smart? Plus, there was also a god who guaranteed that staying by Asha's side would be the safest. That's why I thought that it was the best thing for you, Lise, even though Asha's behavior was a bit strange. Now I'm not sure. In the end, they just hurt you and disappeared irresponsibly. Although you ultimately survived, this somehow feels wrong. During that short time, you lost your liveliness and your smile. There must have been a better way than this, but why? Do you like it when I smile, Yuta? Yeah, I like it. I really like it. The only reason that I did as they said instead of doing what I wanted in the first place was because I figured that they would be better than a guy like me. But what's this? If you're going to get hurt anyway, no matter what, I should have just abducted you like I wanted to. Abducted? Wait, I misspoke. I meant take you. I wanted to take you with me. I just thought about it. I would have just run away from this fight if there's no way to avoid pain within it. But then it seemed like you would never smile at me again, so I gave up on it. Not only would it be extremely dangerous, but you would definitely hate it. Let's go. Let's go together to that other dimension you said. We have to save Kazakh, right? Bro's too used to no one hearing him. Yeah, he doesn't have an inner monologue. This guy doesn't have an inner monologue. He just blurts out everything. Why don't you want to go together? I thought you even wanted to abduct me. Now you've changed your mind? No, that's not the reason. For now, just stay back and listen, Lise. That place is extremely dangerous. Plus, once we cross over into that dimension, it's hard to return because of my mother. Your mother? You see, the one who appeared in the waterway and attacked you. Wait, you mean that monster? I mean, that Shura... I'm sorry, actually. She did that because she wanted to take me away with her at the time. I know it's a little late, but I'd like to apologize on behalf of my mother. I see. So that's the kind of mother you have. Of course the situation won't be like it was at the time. I can't stop that. The problem is that my mother won't let me go. You see, the goddess above was 100% Kali. It's not the first time he's been overheard, too. Kazak and Elvin both heard him monologuing. So, the goddess above that we saw was 100% Kali, I will say, because now that we see Yuta's mother here, who is like also like, you know, the Kali connection and everything, and she has the same eye color as Kali had in that image. So it very much is alluding me to the fact that that goddess that we saw in that 4-character panel was Kali. There's no way to beat my mother, Harpole. I wonder if loses at halfway. And why Kazak dropped the biology of Shura's book. There is no way to beat my mother when it comes to interdimensional travel. So I'll just have to obtain cooperation from her using persuasion alone. But I'm not sure how long it will take. So I'm supposed to just wait for you without even knowing when you'll return? This world doesn't want to think about Asha, who's behind the Shuras or the golden scales that appear in the sky on that day anyway. There's no one to listen to me or reminisce about what happened that day or worry about the future. Even Agni, who I thought would be okay. This is really important to me, but no one is interested. But you want me to wait here? In a place where no one listens to me? I think it was mentioned before that Kali made Yuta's mother look like the same as her. No matter how dangerous that place may be, it would still be better than here, Yuta. At least there I have you to listen to me. They won't be sad that I only left a letter, right? But they would... Oh, she put her shirt back on. But they would probably try to stop me if I tell them. I want to stop you too, Lise. Even if I can overcome all of the other problems, there still remains the most important problem of all. I'm even more dangerous than the other Shuras there, and my mother. It may be tough, but it would be better to stay here and wait. Even if other people don't really listen to what you have to say. At least, that hurts the most, Yuta. Ready? Alright. Let's go. It's clearly going to be a painful time for both her and me. I thought about shaking off her hands and going alone. Oh my god, he has an inner monologue? He can actually think quietly? But I just couldn't leave her behind. Since she fears being left behind even more than death. This 100% was also something that we saw in a prologue panel, right? This feels very familiar to me. This picture feels very familiar to me for some reason. Things that remains end. Next chapter, the return. Thank you for reading part 2 of Kubera this far. Next week will be behind the scenes stories about the characters and the afterwards part 2. This is the last episode of Kubera Season 2. Are you surprised? Hehehehe! Some of you said that you don't know why Brilliff is one of the main characters. In Season 1 she had a fair amount of appearance as a main character. In Season 2 she seemed more like a supporting character. In Season 3 she will definitely become more prominent as a main character. P.S. Kurigum just confirmed that Season 3 will begin on April 6th on Neighbor. April 6th? That was 2 weeks ago! Season 3 just started? Then start next stream. You can check out the afterword now. We then start next stream with the prologue. My thumbnail says the 287. Is this a card game webtoon? Oh, it's tarot card reading. Oh. I thought it was a TCG webtoon, man. I can do that as well. Sure, I can do that. You may be wondering about several of the characters, so I will give an update on some of them in the Season 2 epilogue, but even there are some characters who won't be mentioned because it would give away the plot. So even if you ask, I can answer you, and not because I forgot, hehe. The flashback images of Kazak's fight with Sampati are from 2-165 and 2-167. When Yuta mentions the most powerful beings in the universe, you can see the silhouettes of Kali, Ananta, Vishnu, and God Kubera. That was Ananta? Have we seen Ananta's silhouette before? So the person on the left is supposed to be Ananta? Oh yes, Yuta's acting mother is made to look for him like Kali. Only like that, so it makes sense that you wouldn't remember. We've seen Ananda before, yeah, but very little. Okay, it makes sense for me to not remember. I do really must say, it's still an odd thing that you have Kubera, Vishnu, Kali, and then Ananta. Because it's like, okay, you have 3 gods. You even have 2 primeval gods, right? Because Vishnu and Kali are primevals, I think. And then you got Ananta just thrown in the mix. Like, I guess this is like the story separation of like, you have the Vishnu side with the Asha side, you have the Kali side with Yuta, you have the Kubera side with Lise, and you have the Ananta side with the Anantas, which are like the... So is that basically saying that from the different futures that remained in the past, only 4 possible futures remain? Because at the beginning, at some point, we saw like 8 different characters, right? And it said like, which future is going to be the best of them? And it showed like these 8 different characters. I already said about, I think it was Brilliff, that she and Agni somehow had like similar eye color to Sakura, which made me wonder if their potential future is kind of similar. So it would make sense that they would be on the... Would be interesting to say that they're on the Ananta side, but I don't know. Weird seeing Ananta as on the screen it says the most powerful beings in the universe. Oh come on, Stepan. Oh come on, you little dipshift. Me when I get you. Me when I get you. What do you see when I do this? Okay, this is the afterward. So I guess we can do this as the last chapter for the day. Let me just check the thumbnail, I guess. I should check my download folder instead of there. Do I need to change? I'm too lazy to change the I'm too lazy to change the thumbnail from 285 to 284. It probably will just be a wrong thumbnail because I guess we're going to start with 284 then, and it's like, I'm too lazy to change the thumbnail. Ugh. He said that he's matched chess before, right? Yeah, he said that he was in Altera pretending to be a half-blood. They're leaving him aside for now. What happened to all of the others? Damn, why is he a farmer now? Why is he suddenly a farmer? Sampati, Hura, Klosh, Clove, all 4 of them are missing. And I have to stay here instead of going to look for them right now. I can't eat this crap. What kind of meal is this? Why don't you just try getting used to life over there? Over here, there are 2 5th Zen gods on this planet. Plus, why did Chandra have to be right next to Agni, their second strongest duo in the Divine Realm? The first is Agni plus Vayu. So it's like, Vayu was wind, right? So it's like fire and wind is the strongest duo. While like, I wonder if like the strongest duo of Agni Vayu is stronger than, like, can they keep up with Ananta? Or are they still weaker as a duo? Then those numbers are stupid anyways. Nobody follows Kubera with the Webtoon numbers. Is that why Sakura tries to revive Ananta? Because he's that strong? No, I mean, as far as I know, she's trying to revive him because she loves him. Him being that strong, she also wants to rule over everything. But Sakura was also always in love with Ananta, right? They were a couple, or like married, or whatever short terms are. Yes, the numbers are just like for easier, like, separation on the streams as well, and like memory of like, okay, so this was the section that we read there. I could technically call it episode 2 instead of like, I'm already just calling it episode like 285 instead of like it's like whatever it was, like for part 2, the last episode or whatever. I'm not calling it part 2 episode 184. I'm calling it just 284. I don't know, it's just easier that way. For now, staying hidden and making sure no one sees you is the only way to survive. You may be able to adjust to this, but I can't. How do you expect me to wear clothes like these and eat vegetables while pretending to be a half-blood? Hey, your brother still hasn't finished his food. I left it with him because you said he knew how to work, but isn't he being a bit too lazy? Sorry, my brother isn't used to this kind of thing. Do you hear that? Start doing things properly, man. Don't just bum off food off them. Just wait. As soon as I find a way to get out of the situation, I'm going to start by destroying this farm that I can't stand. Then I'm going to turn that damn chef who's only giving me stupid vegetables into meat paste. Help me out here, chatters. Can halves eat vegetables? Or how are halves also only meat only? I don't remember if halves were able to eat vegetables. Yes, they can. Okay. So it's not that they are... So it's not a torture method here. So technically a half would be able to eat that. Even some Shurats can eat vegetables. Didn't I tell you? I've been in charge of helping in the kitchen since yesterday. Huh? Gandava, please forget what I just said now. I misspoke. Gandava, could you answer me? Is that a new continent? Is that the shape of the main continent on Willarth? That's surely a continent, right? Wow, Gandava! Let Gandava cook! Let Gandava cook, 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 cook! Oh, this hurts me to read. I probably... Curry Gomorby. Curry Gomorph. Continent where curry mushrooms grow everywhere. Hi there, everyone. You were reading this, huh? This is the end of part 2 of Kubera. You could see it as the first half. So, is that implying that there will be part 3 and part 4? Because part 3 is like already longer than part 1 and 2 combined, right? And it's still ongoing. So, if there's part 4, what was the thing called about 4-part story structure? 4-part story structure. 4-part story structure was you have the introduction, which is the first part, which is like the shortest section. Then you have the second section, which leads to an inciting incident, which pretty much is like the moment of the Asha disappearance, of Yuta and Lee's leaving, and it's the inciting incident happening. And then you have the rising action, which is the longest part, the coolest part of the story, leading to the climax of the entire story, which the climax will probably be towards the end of season 3. And then you will have Act 4, where things from the climax are going to calm down, things are going to get solved, things are going to get developed, and then finally everything is going to get rounded up towards the ending. So it's probably going to be a 4-parter, with part 3 being the longest, and part 4 probably being shorter than part 3, I would assume, but longer than part 2. I didn't even consider it being the first half, actually meaning it as 4 seasons. That's so well thought. Because, you can see this image. I'm actually just going to go in the Google search with you guys. I used it on a different browser, so you wouldn't see it. So these are the standard story structures. Like, let's look at this one, for example. I need to I'm going to move the entire reaction thing over here. This was the thing that I talked about. Because I feel like this even makes sense for Kubera. Because you see that the introduction part of this thing is... can you see my mouse? Here you can see my mouse. Can you see my mouse? Can't see my mouse. Why can you not see my mouse? Should be able to see my mouse. My mouse here. Hello. Can you see it? There it is. So the introduction is technically the shortest section. This is season 1. This is part 1. This here is season 2, part 2, leading to the inciting incident. This here, leading to here, is part 3. And this here could be part 4. I remember learning those in middle school. Do you also remember learning it when people were... I don't know if you guys read One Piece, but everybody was like reading Wano and was like, Wano for sure is... What was it like? Japanese 5-part story structure. What was it called? Did Japanese have a 5-part story structure or was it a 4-part story structure? I thought Japanese had a... Look at this. You got the introduction, you got the development, you got the twist, and then you got the conclusion. Wano epilogue was too short. Yeah, everybody expected like a 4 or 5-part thing for Wano, but in the end they just made it a 3-parter. But actually, yeah, I have a feeling that it could make sense of like that season 3 is the longest and then season 4 is longer than season 2 but still shorter than season 3. Like this also is like characters and settings introduced, actions rising, climax, falling action, 5 problems resolved. This is funny that it's called the 4-act structure, but they're talking about 5 points. And this is the Japanese thing of like you have key, introduction, show, development, 10, twist, ketsu, conclusion. And here they call Act 3 the development instead of the climax. There's a lot of character stories and twists, so it's clear, less clear cut. One Piece of so unpopular here, never heard about it until like 2021. I just don't talk about anime manga with people around me, to be honest. Okay, let's finish the reading section. I actually want to make this smaller as well. Here. Like this. Which I think early One Piece anime is peak. I do think that pre-time skip is better. I'm on that. It's not an unpopular opinion anymore. So many people say it. In part 3, a bit of time will have passed. There's going to be a major difference in the position of the main characters. You can see for yourself at the time how they change. Ah, right, and there have been a lot of people asking whether parts 1 and 2 will be pay-per-view once part 3 starts. Since my comic is one where you won't understand a word of what's going on unless you reread the entire thing, there will not be any partial cost to read it. There's a chance that part 3 will be released under a different title instead of following part 2. Is that true on the Korean side? I also plan on offering a preview service, and, what should I say? You must be getting sick of looking at this melted bear, right? Sorry, I just can't move right now. So I'll take a little rest with a low-quality comic. Wow, Yuta, look at this! Some generous people sent me some clothes! It says they're all for me. Amazing, Lise! Try them on! I'm sure everything must look good on you. She kept it on the same title in the end. But look at this! It says I can only wear 2 pieces of clothing. What should I wear? Only 2 items. For now I'll choose one thing that I want to wear, you can choose the other. Me? Yeah, one thing that I want to wear and one thing that you want to see me wear. Let's do that. Something I want to see you wear. This one? Or that one? She'll definitely slap me if I ask her to wear that. It's my only chance, so I have to think carefully so that I won't regret it. Alright, I'll choose this one. I've been wanting to wear a princess style dress like this for ages. See part 1, episode 1. Yuta is flexing his abs. Have you decided, Yuta? Should I just choose something if you're having a hard time to choose? No, one sec. I decided. I chose this one. No, I unconsciously chose exactly what I wanted. What should I do? What if drinks I'm a pervert? Alright, I'll try it on. Turn around for a second, Yuta. 5 minutes later. It's so hard to put this on. I can help you if you want. Huh? What? I didn't say anything. 10 minutes later. There, all done. Whew! Still, it's comfortable to put a move now that I've put it on. Even my dogs are out. Look! Is it what you were imagining, Yuta? Thanks to Evil Eye for the clothing design. I feel like I have seen an outfit like this before. Where did I see an outfit like this before? Here? Not really. Not really Merlin. A carnival? I like how she's still holding the hide, because otherwise it would jump on her. I love whoever made those clothes. All done. Now I'll put on the thing that I want to try on. I want to see you in the distress a little longer though. Ta-da! Well, Yuta, this is what I chose. Well, it's still very revealing. Like the entire stomach section and even on the sides and then the leg slit. Thanks to Rico for the clothing design. I love whoever made those clothes too. Alright, now that I've put on both things, I'm all done. Liz, can you keep wearing them? Nope. Why not? It says here that it's too hard to keep drawing. Sorry for being this kind of artist, but it took me 8 hours just to draw those 2 patterns of Liz wearing those 2 dresses and my hands are too slow. Anyway, I'm going to take a rest now. Everyone to make part 3 even better. During a break, I'm going to practice drawing high quality action, catch up on working on the book, prepare on a preview for part 3. And there are a lot of episodes were deleted from part 2 because they slowed the story down, but I plan on working those into an audio drama. There were some people who asked me to summarize the story, but I recommend rereading the comic before part 3 comes out. There's still a while before part 3 starts, so in the meantime you could reread it around 10 times. And don't throw rocks at me! And it looks like it's time to go now. Thank you again to everyone who has read this far. I will see you all again in an even better part 3 of Kubera. Well, until we meet again, stay healthy! Here you got Chess and little girl telling her Agwen that Kazak is missing, or maybe even telling her that he might be dead. Eye of Bondage is pretty stylish. It's a good accessory. Both very appropriate for a 16-year-old. True. Boys part 3 even better. Art skill improving over time is great. The blonde was Theo. Is this implying that Theo, because we weren't entirely sure where the very beginning of the afterword with Maruna and Gandava was happening, and seeing Theo here with the apple crates makes me wonder if they are actually in a close by place to Theo. Then we have Brilith here who's just working, and we have Mirhar here reading documents. And finally, Lisa's old shirt hanging alone in the room that she left behind. Meaning, deep meaning, Lise left her old self behind. Leaving the shirt that she has worn basically the entirety of the story behind is a magnificent symbolism that Lise has matured. Lise has matured / has been broken and is now not the same Lise as she was before. The old Lise has been hung up. The old Lise doesn't exist anymore. It's now a new Lise that is venturing out into this world. It's just showing how everyone's doing at the end, since the chapter was so focused on Lise. Mira was probably reading the letter Lise left. Right. Lise left a letter of like saying I dipped out with Utah. We eloped. To be continued in 2017. Seems to be dealing with her dad going missing. 2017? That's pretty soon, right? Can't believe that it's happening. I wonder if it will happen before my birthday or after. Which is also funny, because I've been talking openly about my age before I turned into Bunferno, but of course that was all fake. That was just the age for my VTuber avatar and not for me, because Bunferno was the real me. So nobody knows how old I am right now. Habu's got too big, so she needed to change clothes. What regional trickery is this? That's crazy, you won't have to wait so long. Yeah, 2017 is pretty soon. When you confused Kubera Part 2 and March 2016 has been on hiatus since then. Okay, so technically this ended in March 2016. And then it was over a year-long break, I assume. This chapter came out in the March 27th on 2017. So even in that time, 2017, it didn't already return. Cheeky dress hasn't been thrown away. Strong laborer once, slacking off. He's not worried about all the other Shuras other than the before mentioned. Sampati, Hura, Klosh, and Clove. Why? Who are the other ones? He's not talking about Sagara. He's talking. So okay. A few thoughts here. That is an interesting thought. He talked about Sampati, he talked about Hura, he talked about Klosh, and he talked about Clove. Ryagara, Pingara, and Sagara didn't get mentioned. Sagara not getting mentioned makes sense, because Sagara, from what we know, got sucked into this other dimension, the forgetting dimension or whatever, together with actually, it makes sense for all of them. Because the thing from Asha that resulted in her getting sucked away, somebody was thrown to the shore with Kazakh, and Hura got Klosh and Clove away before it all went down. Yep, that's right. Sampati was thrown to the shore with Kazakh. Hura managed to get Klosh and Clove away and even said, if you guys want to stay safe, if you want to stay here, thanks for the head pat, just stay here for a moment. And then the Asha thing happened. Ryagara, Pingara, and Sagara were all there at the moment, which means that all of them probably were sucked into the forgetting dimension, which is why only those were mentioned and not the other ones, because Maruna is incapable of thinking about them at the moment. That is the very obvious reason of why he was only talking about those. Which of course also still brings up the question, who is Hura working together with? Hura knew about Asha being able to use the freaking Vishnu spell, and also that the Vishnu spell would result in the people disappearing. Smart Pyro, yes, that's me, that's the smart Pyro, the smart one. Who is Hura working together with? Hura is not working together with the Kali side, because the Kali side is Yuta. Hura is not working together with the Ananta side, for sure not. Hura isn't working together with the Vishnu side, but Kubera seems to be working with the Ananta side. So what is Hura? What is Hura? Is there a fifth side that we are not being talked about yet? Well, maybe she didn't know what would happen, but he was told to do this. I don't know. Kurigo implies afterward that Hoti Vishnu also affect Gandhava and Maruna, who are no longer concerned with Sagara, and the rest of the army, Sura army that vanished with Asha. Agumon is likely crying because of the news of her father's disappearance. Position of Theo's hands looks strange, because that is how she always carried her missing sword. It's unknown whether or not Sagara still had it when she disappeared, and thus if Theo still remembers losing it. All parties are more confusing. Let me go full screen. Okay, chat. So the important parts are that we need to remember that season 2 is now over, and it's very important that even the Shuras don't remember the disappearance of the other Shuras. How was season 2? I would argue it was better than season 1. I don't think that's a controversial take. It was better. It was also longer to achieve more things, but it also just had more strong developments, you know? Not just the setup, it did have some bombers. Dude, I'm doing a body roll against you. Hmm. Man, what else about season 2? Season 2 was just good. That's like the slow summary. I need my time to set thoughts more directly on everything. I don't think I've heard anyone say season 1 was better than season 2. It's most unlikely. Season 1 is good, but season 2 builds on that. And that is what every good story should do. Man, I can't believe that 2017 is next week. I really like season 1, but even I would say it's better. Season 2 is better, yeah. Guys, what are your plans for season for 2017? Considering that next week we will finally have like the return of Kubera. I wonder what you guys have planned for 2017. I have a lot of things planned for 2017. I want to do so many things. Like, I don't know if you have heard about that yet, but there's a big game coming out in this year, and it's like super important for people because you remember how recently on the 3rd of March to be a better kid at school, on the 3rd of March this year, the Nintendo Switch just released, which means we finally will get a new generation of Nintendo games. And oh my god, I will assure you, the art quality, the frames per second, everything will be so good. Like, have you heard about that new Zelda open world game that is going to be released? People are telling that open world Zelda will never work, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the best Zelda game ever. And there's also this Mario game, right? The Mario game, that Mario Odyssey game is going to release towards the end of the year. And I do wonder if they're going to when will they release the first Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch? Because so far we have always done everything on like handhelds, and now some stuff is coming to the Switch. I wonder when the first Pokemon game is going to come out on the Nintendo Switch. Do you guys think it will come out this year in 2017? Or will it take a bit longer? I sure as hell hope that the first Pokemon game won't come out in 2019, 2 years after the Nintendo Switch released. And I hope for sure not that people will make a huge drama about some sort of tree. I wonder if we will get a new Donkey Kong game on the Nintendo Switch. You know, Donkey Kong hasn't gotten a new game for so long. It would be horrible if we had to wait like 8 more years from 2017 until a new Donkey Kong game would come out. After the Wii U, Nintendo is cooked, Pyro. They will be joining Sega soon. What? I know that the Wii U didn't sell that bad, but that was marketing issues. It was always like people thought it was just like a slightly upgraded Wii and not something actually new. So I think the Switch, with the ability to be a handheld and like a home console, is going to sell super well. It's going to sell super well. There's no way it's going to join Sega. No way. Nintendo is too strong for that. Nintendo is too strong for that. Trust me, trust me. I have good sources. Looks at Vishnu. Good one. So it's 2017, guys. Is it still worth it to invest in Bitcoin? Um, 2017. So Bitcoin right now, oh yeah, it's so worth it to invest in Bitcoin. Holy sheesh. If we're saying that we're still at the moment where Kubera is in hiatus, Bitcoin is like worth below 1,000 euros. Like one Bitcoin is worth around 1,000 euros. We're like at the beginning times of Bitcoin. Holy sheesh, is it worth it to invest in Bitcoin? Holy sheesh. Even if I were to just buy a single Bitcoin, even if I were to buy a singular Bitcoin, that would go from like 800 euros all the way when I sell it at its peak to like, it was over 100k, yeah, like over 100k. I would like make 100k bonus if I buy a single Bitcoin. A singular Bitcoin! Man. Woof woof, man. If only, I could have been rich. But 2017, I don't know when I first heard about Bitcoins. I don't know when I first heard about that stuff. But yeah, season 2 was great, and next week we're going to start season 3. I'm going to remove this bookmark, and I'm going to click here and bookmark this new chapter, 285. I am almost halfway done with Kubera, right? I'm almost halfway done. Can't wait for me to take this long again to catch up. See you guys in 2030. What was the button? This one. 2030. Next week we'll be in the same season as us. Yeah, finally I caught up to you guys. Finally I caught up. We're so close to each other. Almost like we're reading the same story. So YouTube side. I'm saying my goodbyes to you. I'm gonna yap a tiny bit longer on the Twitch side. But YouTube side we're wrapping up here. Twitch side will just be probably off topic yap and not Kubera yap. But thank you guys for watching. I will await you next week as always for the start of season 3. Tomorrow is Omniscient's Viewpoint, and also to be said to the YouTube poobies is thank you guys for watching. I hope all of you stay happy, all of you stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Kubera on. Make sure to Kubera your Bera. Bye, Pyro. Pyro? Pyro. Pyro Varida. Stream beenden. I just killed the